welcome
Wow.
to Castle
Get
Mac.
out, Sean, this is Dungeons and Dragons.
This is serious shit.
Not burpees and burps.
So it's always the rules don't only apply to me.
All right, well, welcome back. We're off for a little bit. Happy to be back, hopefully. So we are continuing our adventures in the Secret of Saltmarsh, the first part of a series of modules that have been put out recently. I've put my own spin on it, so things won't be exactly the way they are in the module. To a degree. Some of it will be, some of it won't be. Either way, last time, we are adventurers. I hesitate to call you heroes, of course.
You'll get there.
Yeah. Well, we hopefully
Some
will get
might
there.
call us heroes.
Nobody would call it.
They escaped from the city/fortress of Moxlian, where they got into a little bit of a trouble with some of the local authorities. Managed to escape through the sewers of the city out into the countryside of the prelacy of Delshalon. As they were traveling, they decided, Bairos decided he had a place where they could lay low for a while.
I knew a guy.
He knew a guy. The city of Port Zorgosa, which basically is Saltmarsh in this particular module. And on the way there, met a little bit of trouble with a wild pig and a owlbear. Got some really good things out of it. Mm-hmm. Got a really cool owlbear hat.
Yeah, very important.
Yep.
That we made.
Anchor ice ball.
Ice anchor ball.
Hold on, yeah.
Ball,
Let's just talk about the hat again. It's definitely the most fabulous hat around, right?
It's got owlbear beak.
Uh-huh.
It's a bit more like a diadem.
It is. You're right.
With boar's tusk up, which I slightly did as penance because I was pretty irreverent about them killing animals. And
True.
Gunn, I didn't torture him. Like, let's not get that twisted. But
He tortured him.
no.
All right.
So we used sovereign glue, bind all, to make you a fucking hat.
Oh, and the anchor.
And the anchor,
chain.
and bind an anchor, so...
Yeah, I don't think you used it on the hat, though. Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
we
be
did.
back. Someone's at the door.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it's a legendary hat. At this point, it's a legendary hat.
You made your way to the city of Port Zorgosa. Didn't really have any other issues up to that point.
Saw the Fort Dustorn? Is that the one that's out?
Yeah, Dustorm. Yep. Met a just delightful guard who bored you to tears because he looked pretty bored. Just didn't look like there was a whole lot of activity around this fort. It's kind of like on the periphery of the city itself. Almost like a watch post in some way. But for what, you're not really sure. Never really found out.
Something in the forest, though, right?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Right.
Or maybe
Rumors
just
of something at one point.
Yeah, so again, Port Zorgosa is an independent city, so it's not like aligned with the prelacy of Delshalon or anything else. It actually, in this area, there are actually quite a few independent cities that are just on their own. So you figure they probably have to worry about themselves and don't have any big brother, so to speak.
They're not giving and they're not asking.
Exactly. You made your way to the town. Your contact, Wolfgard Alderman, portrays himself as kind of like owns a bookstore. But you know he's
He's the Whisper King.
Yep. I don't think they ever knew that.
No,
Even
you
at
didn't
this
find
point.
out yet.
I don't think
You
you
never
know.
told us.
Okay, yeah.
I
We heard the name because someone was looking for him. Near
Mm-hmm.
My us. girlfriend, yeah.
Right. So the Whisper King is basically like an information merchant in the city. So you decided to do some downtime activities because you had the time to do it.
Got rowdy. More like uptime.
Partied across Port Zorgosa
Uptime.
and hit, 12 of the 14 taverns within a week.
Kicked out of 9.
Banned from 7.
Banned from 7.
Kicked out of 9, banned from 7.
Made some contacts. Actually, you specifically made contacts. 2 Freints. The Freints are basically like kind of modified versions of Thorai Kreen. They're kind of mercenary-like. Gorar and Sidrar were their names.
Oh.
Gorar.
Yeah. I think I sent you a PM with their names if you need them. Otherwise, it doesn't matter. Okay. You also made a smuggler contact, Gideon Dunharrow, and a guard contact who was actually the guard you had met.
Davin.
Yep, Davin Hale.
Yep.
This is the boring guy.
Yeah,
but he wasn't
boring
right.
when he was off duty.
Right. In fact, he partied with you.
Yeah.
Part of the time.
And got us out of jail.
Got you. Because you guys got thrown into the Hooskow.
Yep.
And managed to pull some strings to get you out. Because of your partying and possibly maybe you still have some worry in the back of your head that maybe even though this is not within the prelacy itself, it is literally on the borders of the prelacy of Del Shalon. It's not that they don't have influence here or agents here or the like. You haven't really seen any sign of it. The only individual that you met was a woman named Miras Kalhari, female, but she had this kind of like brooding companion with her that you never really got to talk to. You seemed to hit it off with her quite well.
I did.
Yeah.
Didn't just seem to.
Right. Yeah. I mean, everyone said so.
Right.
Right. She was actually looking for the Whisper King. You're not really sure why. You kind of relayed that information back to Wolfgart. He kind of took it with a grain of salt, but that's kind of what he does. So, he didn't seem overly concerned about it, but he did recommend that you guys lay low for some time. So he had this, basically kind of this hideout that he hadn't actually used in maybe a year or so. This old estate down the coast, maybe, 4 or 5 miles, that just has been abandoned for years. So he said none of his, no one that he knows is there. None of his, agents or contacts or anything like that. You guys got some supplies and decided to go down the coast and kind of lay low for maybe a week or so, and then maybe check back. And he said he would send runners up there if there was any concern, or what he felt would be, secure for you guys to come back and continue upon whatever adventure that you decide, whatever floats your boat.
Cool.
We gotta get a boat first, then we can
got an anchor.
We got the anchor. The anchor is kind of the most important.
Yeah, you build the boat around the anchor typically.
Right. Well, the anchor is what keeps you
afloat.
Yeah. Is he having a laugh with me?
I feel like the most important part of the boat would be the boat part.
Mm.
Well, so good.
But which part is not the boat part?
Well,
but here's a question though. Let's say you've got a boat, and a piece of wood on the boat breaks, and you replaces it, and it's like a different color. Well, if every piece of that boat needs replacing, is it still the first boat, or is it a whole new boat? Like piece by piece.
Well, you son of a bitch.
Philosophy 102.
Okay.
I've been thinking a bit about that. Same with say a skeleton. Not like we've discussed, but like one bone replaced, and then another bone, and then there's none of the original bones. But it's still the same skeleton. Mm-hmm. Or is it? That's my questions.
Okay. I'm going to put the skeletons aside for just a minute because we have more pressing questions on that. And I understand replacing planks of wood more than I understand replacing bones on a single skeleton.
Pretty similar to me, but alright. Pretty straightforward.
So are we keeping this on a spectrum then, as our spectrum conversation has gone? At what point...
Real quick, Devin for 12 months subscription.
Holy crap.
Oh, thank you, Devin.
Wow.
1 year, my friend. That is awesome, man. Yeah. That is super cool.
Devin year 1.
Alright, had to interrupt for Devin.
Thank you.
Alright, well, I can't see that it's a spectrum unless you're saying at some point it's the original boat, wood replaced new boat, in which case I could see that that's maybe a spectrum, and it's not just 2 of. What do you call that again? You said it the other day.
To a what?
Sounded like a beanery.
Binary.
Yes, that's right. Not the place where you might make or clean or cleanse beans.
Definitely not a beanery.
Well, I was just thinking because beans are small and you could either have the beans or not have the beans. Sorry.
Oh, man. What I'm saying is, so at one plank, I'd say it's the same boat.
Agreed, yes. You replace a boat, it's a damage. You replace a plank, same boat.
But the question is, at what point is it not the original boat? If it's going to not be the original boat at all. Because are the new planks being assumed to become part of the original boat?
Well,
Apart
I'd say
becoming
so.
a sound?
I mean, no one says clean the boat, but not the planks that aren't part of the boat. They're all part of the boat. I mean, that's pretty implicit. You'd know if you spent any time on the sea, like I has. The captain would never say, clean the boat, but not the planks that aren't part of the boat. That would be daft.
Give me a survival check. They're not paying attention.
14.
Okay, well, he gave you kind of a general idea of where the place was. You know, he basically said follow the coast, and then there was, like, these, you know, the estate was actually well appointed at some point. Mm-hmm. And like a trail kind of led along the coastal line down to the city itself. But you're kind of in the area, and you're kind of looking around, and you don't actually see the path, but you do see this, like, massive oak that seems to have kind of fallen down across to the right of you on the path, and it's overgrown, but as you kind of look beyond it, you can just see almost like the remnants of kind of like a stone that seemed to be almost reclaimed by the forest, a bit path kind of leading up to the hill. And as you kind of look up, you think kind of through the trees, you think you might see a structure up there, but it's kind of but they're still, they've been having this conversation for the last like 3 hours.
Maybe we could talk about it there.
Oh, that brings me to another question. I once heard this monk say, if a tree falls and no one's there to hear it, did it make a sound?
If I let you know that there's a building there and no one is hearing it,
Alright, it's a building, boys. Let's get serious.
Alright, enough. Start walking back. But it doesn't make a sound. Just to be clear, it doesn't make a sound. Start walking up.
of course it makes a sound.
I think Gunn's growling.
Alright, so you kind of like, you know, the tree is massive, and it's, you know, oaks are hardwood, so they stay around for a very long time. You kind of scramble over it, kind of cut. It doesn't look like anyone's been up here for a very long time. But you figured that maybe he had it cut down on purpose. Kind of block it so that no one would know. But you can't tell. I mean, he said he hadn't been known it for a couple of years, so if he had it done, he'd had it done a while ago. But it was a massive tree. I mean, it was, you know, kind of definitely.
It was a thick
wood. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And hard.
I'm fine.
Okay. And as you kind of wind your way up, you can see that the hill is pretty steep. But the trail itself seems to be kind of cut in, kind of switchbacks along the hill. Mm-hmm. And you come to the top and you can see that it's probably maybe like 100-foot tall cliff that kind of looks down over the ocean. It looks like a very nice area. And you do see this, what at one time was probably a fairly, magnificent looking house. 2 stories. You can see this low retaining wall that kind of, goes around behind the house. You can't really see it. It's not very tall, maybe a couple feet tall. But, vines and parts of it have fallen down. The roof itself looked like it had wood shingles on it at one point. A lot of them have rotted away from being this close to the sea. And it looks like maybe at some point, like a large branch or something broke in through the top of the house. And it's just like a hole, maybe like 5 or 6 feet wide.
How big overall is the house?
It's probably, like height?
Just in general kind of, volume. Obviously, I don't expect
square footage.
Are we talking like small house, like a hut?
No.
I'm thinking
probably like 3,000 square feet.
Okay.
Like, I'm thinking like Wayne Manor, if Wayne Manor from Batman was on the coast.
But not nowhere near that big.
Not that big.
Yeah.
But like...
But that style.
Right.
Right.
Oh, look at us, boys. We got ourselves a chateau.
A lot of it is made of stone. Because you figure...
Did that earlier.
Chateau. It's not an action. It's a place.
Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, I figured.
I've been there before.
It's the house, right?
More or
Basically,
less.
yep, you're right. You've definitely heard of it before.
Yep.
Definitely not.
Had one. I didn't have one.
In fact, where the low kind of retaining wall comes to the front of the house, you can see that there is like kind of like an iron gate that's just kind of swinging open, kind of squeaking in the wind.
Classic.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it just looks run down. I mean, in fact, you can see kind of like there's a couple of chimneys, and you can see these vines that's kind of interwoven themselves around it, and actually grown into the brick itself of the chimney or the stone, whatever it is. And the windows themselves are just blackened from dirt and what have you. Some of them are broken. Some of them are intact still. Just looks pretty desolate, you know.
And I'm definitely imagining an overcast, windy day at the coast.
And it is early in the day because you guys left in the morning.
So is this where we're gonna post up for a bit?
Not too inviting.
It's shelter. And actually, you can give me you have knowledge nature, or you don't, but you can give me survival.
Hold on, I might actually
If you're
have knowledge
trained in
nature.
survival. I don't think you took it.
No, I do not.
You
Nor
have
do I have survival.
You don't have it trained?
Nope.
Anyone?
It's taken, man.
Nope.
You didn't get a chance.
Okay.
Everything's fine.
I think it's
You guys have enough supplies for at least a week, probably more.
I think it's pretty good. We've got ourselves a secret lair.
I do like the sound of that.
I mean, this belonged to a rich person at one time, obviously. It's fallen a bit on hard times, but then again, so have we.
You do see as you come up kind of at the apex of the gate, there's like a circle, and then there's kind of like a not a glyph, but just kind of like a design in the center. Just roll intelligence checks. Right.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Should be fine. Rolled pretty good. 10.
That's awesome.
11.
Also got a 10.
Yeah, it looks kind of familiar to you, but you don't. Nothing really registers.
I'll be like, yeah, I see that. I mean, that's definitely a thing. Probably important. I don't remember right now because
Probably a family, well-to-do.
could be
Yeah,
Put
you would
it on
expect
age.
it's probably like a crest or something.
coat of arms or something
Yeah.
like that from the old special families.
Putting on edge. Look at me being fancy.
Oh, look at us in our
As
seaside
your hat
chateau.
kind of shifts over your eyes,
Hat shifts. A still dry tendon kind of
hanging
hanging there.
off. You've gotten used to the smell at this point.
It's a place we can train. You know, you can probably blow some stuff up.
I'll try not to burn it to the ground.
It looks, I mean, again, it's made of stone for the most part, except for the shingles on the roof, and maybe like frames for the windows and the doors and things like that. But it looks, you know, pretty
Well, we
sturdy.
should get this place a little bit cleaned up, I think. Maybe we can carve out a couple rooms for us to inhabit, clean them up a bit.
Oh, I'd say that we probably each got our own room.
Oh, definitely.
Maybe 2 each.
Yeah, we could have one room for chateauing in and another room for sleeping in.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, we want to keep the chateau separate, not where you eat, as they say.
I don't chateau where I eat.
Speaking of which, we should eat-o soon.
So you proceed up the walkway unless you don't want to.
No,
I mean, there's no
that's
threat
good.
or anything like that. And as you get to the top and kind of make your way through the gates, you see off to your right, kind of around the back of the house, you do see a well for water. And it looks like, kind of off to the side of it, at one point there was probably like a manicured garden, but not like a flower garden. Like you can actually see like wild tomatoes growing there that the animals have eaten and
Right.
berries.
But
and-
used to be maybe self-sustaining.
yeah, it might have
at
been
least,
like someone's vegetable garden or something like that. And still, some of it still remains. Some of it has just been consumed by weeds or animals. But there's still something there, you know. You don't know how good it is because none of you have the skills to do anything bad about it.
Like, we can keep a garden. You know, I can move some dirt. Your hand is a pretty good little gardening shovel.
It's a built-in shovel.
Well, guess you got that going for you. Built-in shovel.
Yours is like a hoe. Your anchor.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't want to
Don't ever
fix
say that about mine. I'm just kidding with you. I know what you meant. Gardening tool.
We don't want to fix the place up too nice, or at some point it'll become a new house.
Damn.
And it's so you realize that like at one time it had been clear cut in front of the house, so you could see the ocean beyond. The trees have just they're not like old growth trees. I mean they're like this,
they're like the little sapling.
but they're enough that it's just like it just has completely obscured the place from the road itself. So you could always cut them down if you wanted to, but as it is now, it's pretty well concealed.
We'll keep it as a hideout for now. Plus, we should look on what's on the inside. There might be some.
I think we should look on the inside. And could be some wild animals, maybe some birds made up residences. Could get some of them eggs.
Rats.
Could be some rats.
Which we can eat the normal way.
That's what I was thinking. Cooked on a spit.
Mm-hmm.
As you do.
Yep.
As I've always done.
Mm-hmm.
Rats the normal way.
All right, boys.
Alright, you better let me go in first, just to be safe.
I like that idea.
I'll go up to the
So
front
here's
door.
I don't know what this is, but that's
I think we drew that for something else.
yeah. But this is the front door to it. So as you come up to the front door, definitely like overwhelming smell of musty and mold kind of assaults you.
Yeah, definitely got a bit moldy. Could stand
The door
a good
itself
swabbing.
is actually intact, although it's kind of it's kind of open. It doesn't look like it's like it'll swing in and out like a barroom door, but it's just kind of just kind of hanging on its hinges. But it seems to be intact. As you step up, I mean, you don't. Again, you can kind of push the door open, and inside you see a kind of a, I don't know, is that like 20 by 25 or 25 by 30 foot room. It's an entrance hall. Looked like, again, it was the floor itself is just like warped wood. Mm-hmm. That it's just like even over the time, it just seems like the moisture. Hasn't been treated or dealt with in any way. But it looks sturdy. There is a set of stairs right here that go up to your right. There's, again, you can see the hall continues ahead of you with some doors, and then there's a passage, to your left and right. Yeah.
Do we want to go through this floor, or do we want to see what's on the second floor?
Well,
and there is a balcony kind of back here. Looking
upstairs,
up top, looking down where the stairs lead up to.
Well,
and obviously there's a path that goes across.
Just in case any vagrants just, hello! We're here for the house! We're just gonna take good care of it now, and if you're here, you'd best get out.
Roll perception. Anyway,
I got a 16.
I just got an 8.
14.
Nothing other than the house just kind of creaking and groaning under the weight of the stone.
Seems like nobody's home, so where's to?
I don't know. I guess we take out the bottom of the house.
Well, it makes sense. Get the foundation. Because theoretically, we can live completely without the upper. So, yep.
All right. Left or right?
I likes me left, personally. Go left first.
Okay. So as you head left, you can see immediately on your right and left, you do see two doors that are closed, but they do lead into other rooms, obviously. Beyond that, it looks like it was probably some kind of living area. It looks like to the right, it opens up into a small patio out back. And it just... like in here there's actually stone on the floor, but a lot of it's from settling in the house or what have you. It's cracked and kind of uneven. And you just see kind of a pile of refuse, in this corner, where it looks like, maybe someone had been here at some point, just threw a bunch of stuff in the corner. You don't even see any furniture. Like if there was any furniture, it either was used for firewood or just destroyed or whatever. Mm-hmm. You're not really sure.
That's what we should have had. We should have got a chaise.
Mm-hmm.
You know what a chaise is.
Yeah. But we should keep looking.
Alright, yeah, I guess check the left room for backing up.
Okay. So, do you go in?
Yep.
Okay. Alright, well, you push it open. It looks like this might have been... Oh, that one, sorry. Yeah. Your left. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
My bad. You push it open, and you can see bookshelves that kind of line the walls in here. Most of the shelves have kind of broken and sagged and fallen in, and you do see some books kind of scattered about. Most of them, some of them are like literally just disintegrated on the floor. But some of them are still intact, at least from the look of it. It looks like this might have been the library of the house.
You want to see if any of these is any good?
I'll just take a quick peruse, but we got time. In fact, we'll leave it. We'll leave it for now. We'll come back later and check out the library.
Okay. That works for me. I'll get the other door.
So you open up this one, and this one looks like probably there was there's like a long table along this wall, kind of like shaped an L. There's like another bookshelf. There's a chair. Looks like it might have been, maybe like a study of some type. There's looks like a large wooden writing desk. That kind of that L that kind of sits against looking out
L
over
or
the window.
lowercase L?
Lower.
Okay.
You can see that the drawers have been kind of pulled out, and some of them are hanging, some of them are laying on the floor, like someone kind of rifled through it at some point. Looks like 2 of them had been like broken and shattered and opened forcibly.
Look at that. Somebody looking for valuables in a reading desk. Somehow I doubt they were looking for books.
Mm-hmm. Looking for valuables, though. Just kind of pull the drawer out a little bit.
Does that mean there are people around here who could break in?
Well, he did say that he has used this in the past
Right.
as kind of a safe house for people. So it was just the last people that were here.
Could have got drunk and done it. I'm not thinking about it.
Could have been little nasties, goblins or something.
Oh yeah, some little goblins.
You do see a bunch of, scrolls, more like documents and stuff, like sheafs of paper and stuff with writing on them that are kind of like, again, just scattered about the room. Probably the wind because the window's broken in here.
They're slowly
kind of cycling around.
Okay, so patio,
library,
study, pretty nice so far.
Yeah, pretty nice. Yep. Need some work, though.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not quite up to my standards. We'll keep going. Well, we might as well complete the sweep down here. We'll head on this way. Into this hall.
Okay. So that door is just gone. Like it's off the hinges.
Yep.
It looks like this was probably, maybe like a common area.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fireplace. That, again, like some of the stones seem to be kind of like fallen out onto the floor. And look like there's remnants of what maybe like a couch in here. This one's actually the windows are intact looking out in this particular room. But,
fireplace here.
You do see kind of like over in the corner on the ground where kind of like water has kind of seeped in through the bottom and like light has come in. You just see, or not actually light, actually in the shadow, you do see like a big mass of mushrooms growing in the corner.
Could eat some of them, maybe. Make a stew.
If they're edible.
Yeah.
Are they edible?
DM, do I think they're edible?
They look edible.
I mean, technically speaking, yes. But if your question is, are they safe to eat?
You don't know.
Also, yes. I don't know for sure, but I'd be willing to take one for the team and tries one. I mean, later.
Yeah, if we run out of rations.
Yes, maybe it's best you don't risk it. We need you.
There's a couple bits in the Primers Guild where there's special mushrooms that you eat, and you only eat mushrooms like that for over a week, and then you're supposed to be figuring out formulae and what's not.
From mushrooms?
Yeah, you get all Oh, the Lords of Light are talking to me. It's all been revealed.
I'd like to see that. Can't say as I need anything revealed. Keep going.
Okay.
Oh, yeah? What about skeletons and how they reproduce?
Well, yeah, I mean, you think there's formulae for that?
Thinking you could eat some mushrooms and maybe you'd see two skeletons going at it in love. In love, of
he'll
course.
Turn around, put the anchor on the ground and look real serious like, mate, I see that in my head every day. Don't need mushrooms for that. We should all be so lucky to carry that kind of love after the grave. I'll push the next door open.
It looks very similar to the other one, a little bit smaller. The windows on all sides of it have just been shattered out. You can also see that, like, the ceiling, there was actually probably some kind of plaster or something on the ceiling. It's like, just the ceiling's kind of bowed in and it's kind of collapsed into the room. Looks, yeah.
Good.
Looks perfect.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Probably won't be using this room.
Yeah.
This place is a bit like my mum's house.
Your mum dead.
Is that why her house is in such terrible condition?
No, let me... Oh, man. That's good. I like both of you. I'm glad that we're mates. No, say this place was clean and brand new and everything was in a spot and you weren't allowed to touch it. That would be like my mum's house.
Okay, that sounds nothing like this place, but I guess you mean in general size and shape and rough layout and what this was once.
Aye. Think about if this wasn't a pile of shite.
Mm-hmm.
Which it undoubtedly is primarily defined by that feature. I track, I'm following you. Your mum's house is nice and she takes it very seriously and it's probably pretty prim and pretty proper.
And she's alive.
And she's alive.
Thankfully.
She's real old.
This place probably could have been real nice at one time, but, well, I suppose beauty fades. Squeeze by it.
Beauty fades, bones last forever.
Gunn's gonna get that tattooed. Beauty fades, bones last forever. Hey, thanks for the raid, Cranio. What's up, man?
Hello, Cranio.
Beauty fades, bones last forever.
Zale's Bone Store.
Much like the bones of this house.
Wow. I love it.
All right. So to your right, again, this door is open. It looks to be the room on your right there. No,
This
that's
one?
that one.
Oh,
Right
I couldn't even see
Yep,
there was a
yep.
door there.
It looks like there's actually like a fireplace on the far side. There's two chairs that are actually intact that are
That's
sitting.
3 chairs intact, boys. Looks like we're having a good sit tonight.
that are facing it, and then there's kind of like almost like an end table or something against the wall that this is kind of collapsed down. Yeah, you don't see anything or anyone in here. Looks
Intact as in just not quite as horrible as the other ones, or they look
oh,
like
they're
actually
probably moldy and
Okay.
probably have mice in them and
But you
whatever.
can sit on them.
You absolutely could sit on
Okay.
them. Yeah.
Just making sure they look
Yeah,
unused.
and another fireplace in here, which you could use, you think, unless it's clogged up.
Clogged up, yep.
You don't know.
We could definitely get in here and put all 3 chairs in. And talk like a bunch of old gentlemen.
Yep, we could all drink our definitely totally clean water.
On the far side, looks like it. You see a long table in there. Again, there's a handful of chairs, like sitting chair, like kind of kitchen chairs in there.
Sorry, where's that?
Straight on the opposite side.
This one?
No, right where he's pointing.
Oh,
Right there. Just looks like a dining room. You know, nothing. You see a heap of broken dishes in the corner, almost as if someone just threw the dishes into the corner for fun.
Somebody had some fun.
Maybe somebody didn't like what they ate.
Yeah, maybe it was mushrooms.
Could have been
Could
mushrooms.
have been them mushrooms.
Maybe. That's not a bad idea. Probably just got bored though. I used to throw some dishes.
Yeah. Smashing stuff is pretty fun. Check out the
Alright, so so straight ahead of you, it looks like a kitchen. It's pretty nasty in here. moldy, like gray mold just kind of actually oozing through the walls in some places. Cobwebs everywhere on the ceiling. There's a small sink in here. There's a stove in the back. Again, doesn't look like there's been any use. And then there's on your right, again, there's a door that is closed as you come in here.
Hey, Gunn, check out that door. I'm not walking to the dirty kitchen. So yeah, what's in that one?
Oh yeah, no problem. I'll check it out. Is it unlocked?
It is. It
I'm
opens up, and you see basically a scullery in here, and you can see stairs that probably lead down to a basement.
All right. Found some stairs into a cellar, maybe. Could be some potatoes.
Again, more gray mold on the wall. It doesn't look like anything unnatural, just like you would expect.
Standard mold.
Just crap. There's heaps of crockery shards on the floor. Again, looks like there's a large copper cask that was probably used for ale at some point. That's just kind of the lid is off of it, and it's green with age.
How big does the cellar look? Just looking at the stairs.
We'll walk over.
Well, you can't. I mean, you did just you see them go. You see it going down.
All right, I'll check out that cellar because there could be some foods down there.
We'll come with you.
Yeah, I would come with you.
Well, I know. I just meant you'd be right behind me in case anything, so I could take the blow for you.
Right. We won't let anything between you and us.
Right. We definitely won't. And then if they get you, we'll have enough time to get the fuck out of here.
Yep, that's right. You sing my song back at those taverns we got kicked out of.
So you're going?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so as you head down, it looks like a wine cellar. You see, as you kind of make your way down, you can see that there are, racks along the walls with just broken bottles everywhere down here. You can see that, again, the shelving seems to have collapsed in different places. The wood is all warped because it's even more moist down here. But it is noticeably cooler down here as you guys make your way into the cellar, so it'll probably be decent for storing things food-wise so they don't get spoiled. You can see, look like they had large metal food bins down here, which, from just kind of glancing, is empty. But in the center of the room, you see the body of a person in heavy armor. You can see kind of like a long sword laying to the side. You can see kind of a backpack. The body is very, very decomposed. The armor looks like it's rusted in a few places, but looks like it was kind of beaten with clubs or
it's dented in.
Dented in places. You can't tell what race, or even gender, that this individual is. But it's just kind of laying there sprawled and not a skeleton. But the smell is pretty overwhelming. It hits you immediately. As you come through there.
It's more of a skeleton than.
Oh, fucking hell.
And there's a capital L
Capital
of shells.
Gotcha.
Yep.
What do you think happened to this poor soul?
Looks like he or she got pretty bashed in.
But
Could be. Looks like clubs, maybe sticks, some kind.
I mean, the sword and shield and even the armor, even though he's in it and probably gross, they look serviceable.
Well, I
I
mean,
mean, you're not Smiths.
are we gonna keep it down here? Or are we gonna put it outside, maybe?
Well, I figure we maybe give it a burial if we got nothing else to do. I mean, I'm not saying that's priority primero, nothing.
Oh, but we could get a burial. Plus, I mean, move in the ground, we could work out some more of the rules on Ice Anchor Ball.
Yeah, it'd be nice to just, work that out a little bit. I think we should get it published back in, Saragossa.
Yeah, we could probably do that. We need to figure out more about the dog
Right.
part.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I do think removing dead bodies is a key part of tidying up a place, so
That
let's make it a...
Tolbar's got a pretty good point.
That is a good point. Well, real fast, I'm just going to give his stuff a quick of a search. He's not using it no more. It's halfway decent longsword, if anyone's interested. I mean...
Not much my cup of tea, but I say you go
Did you
to...
pick up the sword?
Yep.
Yeah. feels. I mean, there's a little bit of it's the rust that's on that you can polish off.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, you pick it up. It looks serviceable for sure.
I mean, we'll just say, yeah.
Sure, he does have a pack, kind of like it's kind of under his left arm, like one of the pieces of the pack kind of broke off,
Gotcha.
you can lay in. And it looks like there's stuff in the pack.
All right, I needed a bladed weapon anyway. So just got me hand axes. He does have 4 hand axes, like besides throwing axes. Well, let's take a look at this pouch here.
Yeah, it might be something
Careful.
more for us in the pouch.
Could be. Yep. Let's take a look.
Basically, you see the contents of an explorer's pack in there. So if you have an explorer's pack, basically you could just double the contents. So it's got rope, water skin, rations, which
I'll take the water skin.
Good.
Yeah, I'll take the water skin.
Mine's been tasting a bit off.
Yeah, mine too tastes a bit funny.
Oh yeah, it's all of ours. Maybe it's the water corrupt.
must be the water in Sargosha.
Yeah, different towns, different water.
Yeah, might be well water.
So as you kind of like reach,
Sure isn't
open
good
up
water.
the pack, just 3 of you just give me perception checks.
An 8 again.
How's a 5, my dude?
14.
Not great. So you're not surprised.
Ooh, boy.
But you're kind of taking the pack off, and you just kind of glance back at the body, and like the chainmail seems to have kind of like shifted down a little bit.
Oh man.
And the head is kind of like stretched, and you just see kind of like the skin start to undulate underneath it, and you hear this squishing noise. All of a sudden, the skin just explodes, and these gray worm-like creatures explode out.
Get that worm
Get
tracker
my worm
going.
tracker ready.
Get the worm tracker ready.
Oh yeah, Grim would be like, oh,
And they just spill out and just kind of like within like all like they're kind of crawling along your legs and on your arm, and they fill the area all the way around the body.
Nice.
Yeah, just fuck. What the hell? What the hell? Put the sword back.
So let's go. You two are actually surprised, but just roll initiative anyway.
We've rested and stuff,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're fully up.
Well, I'm a 19 dungeon master.
At least I still get to go before you.
19.
Fools.
What'd you get?
I'm a 5,
Okay.
but not surprised.
11.
11. All right. So they lost with a 4.
Kobo clip, the beauty fades, the bones last forever. So good.
All right. So I think they're just kind of like swarming all
So
over.
it looks like a swarm. Like I can start swinging at it. All right.
So you're just like stepping on them and just swing wildly.
All right. I think his fear is quickly going to give way to anger,
Okay.
and I will rage. It's like, and he's gonna take the anchor broadside out and
And
just
just
start
sweep
like
through 'em?
Yeah,
Okay,
sweeping
perfect.
through. So raging, I'll swing. I'll attack recklessly.
Okay.
That would be a 17.
You hit. Cool.
Yeah, you miss.
Okay. Well, that's going to be 11 damage.
Okay. All right. So you just almost in a panic, just swing. You're actually stepping out at the same time, and you just do a swath, and you hit the side of the body, and it just kind of spins away
Nice.
as you just squish, a bunch of these things, like maybe like a half a dozen of them, because they're not quite that big. They're probably like
Ugh.
that. Looks like the entire body was like filled with them.
No, thank you.
Yum.
So you two were surprised. So
Who wants spring rolls?
attacks you.
Good.
It has advantage because you're surprised. Actually, it would have advantage against all of you.
True.
So a 13.
Exactly enough. Congratulations,
all right.
Wormy boy.
All right. So you take 3 points of damage. As these worms just kind of swarm over you and start burrowing under your skin.
Fuck this.
Nice.
Worm tracker!
Good.
They're not quite under your skin yet.
I don't
They're
let anything
digging.
get under my skin.
They're burrowing now.
Mm-hmm.
These are like the smaller ones, because they're all different sizes in here.
Nice.
Like the big ones bite you and the little ones get in you.
Big ones are the
Mhm.
juiciest.
Yeah. So, Bairos, you're up. And they're literally in each of your squares. We're just going to do it in theater mind.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start unarmed attacking and just...
trying to squish the bugs.
Trying to squish them. So here is, I'm taking the attack action. I think that's a good chance. That's a 21.
Yep, you hit.
Alright. 6 damage.
6.
And then I'll spend a key point to make 2 unarmed strikes as my bonus action. Doubting that a 7 gets it.
7 does not.
And...
That'll hit.
That's okay.
You did an 8.
Tight. And 4 on the next one. I'm just squashing.
Okay, well he's just like tearing them apart, and there's like maybe like 3 or 4 left at this point, but they're still swarming around your.
Nice.
So
I'm hungry.
let's see. At the start of your turn, starts to burrow.
Okay.
You take 5 points of damage
Very good. I like
as the
that.
worm burrows under your skin.
Mm-hmm. That's Sean's favorite.
I was hoping to get Sean with it, but fine. You're up.
What are my options for...
Oh, hey, zombie. Hey, real quick, another 12-monther.
Holy crap.
From
Dang.
Zombie tonight. That is awesome. Both Zombie and Devin. 1 year.
Double
That is
12s.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you.
What are my deworming options?
You tell me.
Monthly
So
treatment.
it's partially in my skin?
It's burrowed under your skin at this point. Yeah.
Then I
And
suppose...
it's like it got like right above the elbow, and it's you feel it moving this way.
It's like in that first Mummy movie when
Yep,
the
the
scarabs
scarabs.
get in.
Yep, you look just like that dude too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Then I
Oh,
will...
he does.
I suppose I'll take a dagger.
And try to cut it
Try
out.
and- yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Nice, man.
All right.
And hopefully not miss.
So we'll just roll a d20.
That's pretty badass.
Oh, you do it with advantage because you're doing it yourself.
Okay, good. 16.
Okay.
You got yourself.
Go ahead and roll a d4. It's not like you're stabbing yourself with a
Yeah,
knife.
you just...
You take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
As you kind of get it and cut into it and just kind of fling the grub out of your skin. And just like this like grayish slime kind of trails along with it, and it burns where it was. Like you're like you figure if you don't treat it, it's going to absolutely become infected.
Whoa.
Good.
Okay. Well, I mean, basically that was your action to unroot the grub.
Pretty much everything else I have.
Unless you have a bonus action to do something.
Yeah, not worth a sorcery point. Well, yeah, it is. I'll sorcery point to use an action as a bonus action, and I will...
Oh, quicken?
Yeah.
Yep.
I will, so, where are they?
They're like all over.
All
They're in
over.
basically like a 10-foot square around all of you.
Okay, then I will...
They've slaughtered a ton of them, but there's still a handful of them that are still active.
I'll use a magic missile and just...
Okay, and just you don't have to roll.
Okay.
It was so close anyway. So you just use a magic missile and just like you're kind of you dig it out and you're obviously panicking a bit and not wanting any more of these things to get inside of you, and just kind of wave your hand like that and just kind of like this barrage of missiles streak out
Just airstrike.
and literally just go do and hit every single one. And because it's not just hitting one, it's like blowing, like you're kind of concentrating, you're killing one, and it's like guiding through the next one, and then they kind of, what's ever left of them kind of scatter off into the corners.
Should I roll for wild magic?
Yeah.
The D20?
Yep.
I thought I saw the one.
I thought I saw it too. Okay. Well, the armor really now, because the skin is just kind of like, when you kicked it, just sloughed off and just kind of scattered about the room. There's like really nothing left of the body at this point. It's still pretty gross inside the armor, for sure, but, I mean...
I think our cleanup job just got a little bit more difficult, boys.
Probably less of a burial now. Not much of one.
But, you know, plate mail's worth a lot of gold.
Yeah. That armor will be worth something back in Sargosa, though.
For sure.
Sargosa, right?
Yeah, Port Sargosa.
Yeah, Port Sargosa.
Yeah, we could definitely do that. We'll just haul it out of here.
Yeah, I'll give it a clean up, and I'll carry it.
So it's plate mail, shield, longsword, and explorer's pack.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Well, but you didn't let me finish my sentence. I'll take half the cut. You each get a quarter. I'll clean it, and I'll carry it.
I will look at the disgusting mess and be like, deal. Easy deal.
All right, then.
Yeah, it's really disgusting.
Roll up my sleeves.
I'm like, hey, did that worm get inside you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see blood just kind of trickling down his arm.
Question, DM.
Yeah.
I'm proficient, and I got some alchemist supplies. I don't have the time to actually do some. Do I have enough to whip up a quick antitoxin to treat it? I mean, or something. I don't even need it to be an antitoxin.
You have healing. You have alchemy. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Go ahead and give me a intelligence plus your proficiency.
Okay. So, what proficiency right now is 2, right?
Yeah.
Level 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So plus 2, right?
No.
Yeah. The problem is what you're gonna do is probably give him like an antibiotic.
Right.
But you didn't see any of the common plants that you've used for the healing potions on your way. You didn't take a good look around.
Yeah.
So the best you can really do is just bandage it and keep it clean.
I'll clean it up. I'll take a little alcohol and fucking pour it on. Like, you did cut into your own skin though to pull a nasty worm out. That was pretty cool. I liked that part. It looks good. It'll be a good story for your girlfriend.
That was extremely badass for someone so small, so my respects.
He was...
Yeah, and in fact...
He was like...
And then he just, with a wave of his hand, he just incinerated the rest of
Yeah,
them.
and then... That was pretty good. Pretty effective.
It's about how I remember.
Wave of his stony hand.
Right. I think I'd probably touch my stony hand to my arm, just opening it. It's gonna be like, maybe this will fix it.
No, it does nothing.
It does though.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Well, you best get that wrapped up, and we'll come back and clean this mess up after we check out what's upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And now, we don't know if there's more of these little grubby worms, so you just be ready with that magics,
But don't blow up the house. Do the magics, but definitely don't, blow us
You
all
saw
up.
him just cut a worm out of his arm, right? You don't need to talk down to him.
But if there are more worms, I may blow up the house.
I definitely not talking down to you, because I respect you.
Well, there are no options for a man of my height.
Unless I was the same height, though, or smaller.
I like that, though. He's got both humor and the capability. Yeah.
For sure.
You know, we dudes makes a pretty good team.
Oh, I think so.
Just wiping gore off the anchor. We do make a pretty good team. They got a weird skin. Look at that.
There's this guy. Totally. Yeah.
They just look like big, grayish, segmented-looking grubs.
Gross.
Definitely.
With thousands of little legs, and then just this circular maw.
I don't like that at all.
Mm-mm.
Also, though, why was it down here?
Could have been just looking for wine. I mean, looks like some kind of hero. Maybe was, I don't know. Just like us, maybe. Don't think it was one of, your fella's, people he was putting up. No, he wouldn't. No, this person looked too nice to be getting put up. I mean, he's in plate mail.
His body is such that it could not have been a year ago. Probably weeks, maybe, at the most.
Could have just happened upon it. Could have been with others.
Aye, but what I'm saying is, we saw no necessary signs of a definite struggle down there. So how did he die? And after he died, was that how the worms got in? Or did the worms get in before he died and kill him? And if so, where did he contract said worms?
Well, the worms sure didn't bash his armor.
Damn good point.
That is
Worms
a good
and
point.
boshed.
That is a good point. Those worms weren't doing no bashing.
But what did? And if it wasn't that long
Also,
ago...
we're not sure that the bashing was the cause of this poor individual's death, neither. The bashing could have taken place earlier, came down here for respite, thinking, I'm all fucked up, I need some wine. In the wine cellar, none here. The worms get him.
The worm cellar.
Very serious question, because we got to sleep here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
If he sat down for the wine, as I would, thinking I'm hurt, did that worm go up his butt? From the ground? Because I don't want worms eating their way into my butt.
I mean, what we saw from old Tolbar here looks like those worms ain't looking for any particular port of entry, really. Gotta make their own way.
Real go-getters, those.
Yeah. Sarge, I'm thinking that plate mail access to the butt region maybe be a little more difficult, but, it's entirely possible. I mean...
Okay. So, yep, let's go upstairs. In fact, yeah, real high. Whatever the highest point of the house is, I'd like
Could
to
be
go
drop
there.
worms.
Oh, they could have dropped.
On the trees.
Could have come
Like
right
some,
in.
silky boys.
Yeah,
But you don't have to watch out for your butt, just all of your skin.
yeah, just the entirety of
Your
my skin.
eyeballs.
Mm.
Fucking eyeballs.
Shall we explore?
Mm-hmm.
My arm is burning, is that correct? And getting
Well,
wet?
you cleaned it out.
Okay.
You kind of wrapped it up. You think it's okay?
Okay. Alright.
You know?
This should be fine.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Right. Amputation. I got another perfectly good arm.
Clunk, clunk.
Chung chung.
Chum, chum.
Okay, so you head back up,
Yeah.
just leaving everything down there. You took the sword.
I took the sword.
Okay.
And we'll
Sword
bury
is-
him in a bit.
There's
Yeah.
nothing really to bury. It's
We
more
will
like
we will
mop
clean it
up.
up.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just adding a longsword to my inventory,
Mhm.
if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, it's not quite usable yet.
I mean, is there anything else down there? I mean, a glance around.
You can look around if you want.
I mean, seeing as how he got bashed, I guess any signs of...
Okay. Give me a. Let's see.
Yeah, I think I'd want to look for
Give me investigation.
I'd like to look for maybe a port of entry for
Yeah,
the
if you're all
worms.
looking around. Yeah.
Port of entry.
Hey, I got to use lucky because I rolled a 1. I got
Did it
12.
help?
I got a 19.
Okay.
12.
10.
Tight.
And what'd you
That's
get? You got 19. You got a what?
12.
So you guys find separate things, actually. With the 12, you're kind of looking around like the wine racks themselves, and like under one of the shelves, you see like an unopened bottle of wine.
Oh, yeah.
Dust kind of covering. You kind of wind it, kind of roll it back out. Just give me intelligence.
18.
Looks like a pretty fine bottle of wine. You can put down a 50 gold piece bottle of wine.
Woo!
Oh, what's the year on it? Or how many years old is it?
It's very old. It's a fine one. Suppose we can celebrate our new home tonight.
Ooh, we can get in our sitting chairs.
And perhaps
Let's not get too drunk and keep our buttholes protected from them silky boys.
celebrate our last wormless day.
And you're kind of looking at kind of the one of the far walls near where like these containers are, and you kind of look down on the ground, and you think you see like what look like several pairs of like boot prints on the ground that kind of stop by the wall, and you're like, that just triggers you immediately, and you start kind of checking the wall, and you do find a secret door.
Nice.
I'll be like, ooh, the wine's pretty good. But look at this.
Oh.
Secret doors and
Careful.
passageways.
Could be where the worms came from.
Do you think there's a great big worm down there? Like a big worm, and the little worms are the babies.
I sure hope so.
So the door swings open, and you can see actual flickering torchlight coming from the room beyond. And as you kind of look across, you can see that it looks like it's stone down here. Also, it's maybe like 20 feet across, and then you can see sets of cots on the other side that look like intact.
Fresh.
Weird stuff here, boys.
Give me a perception check.
20.
And you kind of peek your head and look around to the right, and you see like a long table and more rows of these beds, and you see that there are men down here, and they have weapons out, ready to attack you. And we'll stop here for.
Jeff! We're just trying to have a nice time in our new house.
That way I can draw them in.
Our wormy house. Alright, BRB.
I also love that for the most part.
welcome back.
Oh, back to speaking human language.
Welcome back, Earthlings.
Our party has been investigating a abandoned house that they were using as a hideout to kind of lay low for a while. Found some fun bugs to play with. Yeah, skin
A worm
growers.
farm.
Dealt with the rot grubs, and as they were searching around this old wiring cellar, they found Bairos found a concealed door in the back. Opened it up to find a well-intact room adjacent to this with quite a few ne'er-do-wells that seem to be waiting for you. Torches in here. They're kind of like crouched down. They've got missile weapons out. They're not holding their action, but, they're not surprised.
Right.
Now, you said ne'er-do-wells. Do they sometimes do well?
Nair.
Sometimes.
Okay.
It's ne'er.
Alright, so they're rare do-wells.
Ne'er-do-wells. So it is initiative.
Nice. Miss Killian's plus 12, guys.
Ooh-wee.
I just want that to be known.
All right.
Yep. Yep. Really set that one up. R-E-apostrophe-E-R, do-wells.
I had never heard ne'er-do-well until a couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I never. I
Bairos.
was like, what? I'm a 13.
13. Tolbar.
21.
What's your dex?
Boy.
Plus 3.
That's stupid.
Gun?
I'm 3.
You
Yeah. Put that on the bottom there.
really do like this.
Yeah, it's cool.
The more I use it.
Hunchman.
So, T-bar.
Oh!
God,
There's ne'er-do-wells!
they're all conveniently placed, so I can't. Or can I see that guy?
You can't see. Give me a perception check because he was actually hiding.
7?
Yeah, you can't see him. He would have called out that there are enemies. I don't know. What would you have said? They have weapons pointed at you.
I think he would have just said that. I mean, like, fuck! I think that's it. I really don't think he would think of anything else beyond like, oh, fuck.
Alright, then I think I would just plop here, hold my action, ready to cast a spell if I see some. Yes, if I.
You don't have
You
to
don't have
decide
to-
the spell.
you
You
don't
just
have
have to
to-
decide
just-
the triggering action.
just
and
tell me what the
response.
trigger-
Well, I just trying to figure out the range they need to be in. Someone gets within 30 feet of me that I can.
You don't even
see
have to
it.
be that specific. You
Okay.
can say if you see someone, then you can change.
Or like if someone looks like they're gonna attack.
And you instead of doing my ray of frost, I do my magic missile. I mean, you don't have to
Okay.
tell me what spell. I'm just
Okay.
ready to initiate combat. You're on hold. So this guy moves around. He actually has a longbow.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of pulls it back. He's wearing like forest greens and like a dark cloak. The others look like sailors to you. They have cutlasses and crossbows and wearing leather armor. This one looks almost like a woodsman.
What the?
But he does step around and takes a little shoddy poo at you. And that is that's a 21.
Yep.
Took a shoddy poo at him.
He did. For 8 damage.
I will use my reaction,
Ooh.
and that's a 16 that I reduced it to 0.
You
So
could throw it back if you want. If you want to spend a key point.
I don't think I want to spend a key point on it, but he'll just.
And you just see his eyes go wide as that happens.
Nice.
The other one down here, these are actually stairways, one going down, and one seems to be going up to an area that you don't know within the house. But they're kind of blocking. When he kind of steps around to here, he's going to have -2, but he'll take a shot at you also.
16.
Misses. So he just kind of fires. The other guy's like, "Hey!" And it kind of goes right past his ear and kind of shatters against the against the stone above your head. And then he'll kind of move back. he kind of breaks line of sight. Bairos.
Did you want to fire your held action?
Oh, that's true. Yes, because when he came around, he would have seen him. Thank you.
He's not in 30, though.
Yeah, okay. Well, I guess I risk nobody showing up, so I might as well do something.
For once, am I right?
Yeah. At least he showed up barely.
Maybe I'll just cast Mirror Image. Or do I have to do something?
No, you don't have to do something offensive. It's a triggering action. You can just cast a spell. So.
Okay, I'll just cast
Throw
Mirror Image.
up.
Yeah.
I think that's a good one. Okay.
I don't need your fucking approval.
Actually, you do need my approval, technically.
Yeah, always.
Well, that's actually all you can do. Sorry, Bairos.
Okay, I will.
You hear, roll your d20 for your wild magic.
Oh, yeah.
Because this could change. But you're good.
Fireballs in another party. Game over.
And he did move back, though. At that
He did
point,
move
though,
back,
right?
yeah.
Okay. Well, I will. Oh, hell. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
Be right here.
Alright.
And I will attack.
You're just wearing leather armor.
Gotcha. That is a 15.
Yep, you hit.
Alright.
You attack with your hands.
With my hands. That's 7 damage.
Alright. Well, you come around and just give him like a knife hand to the throat. He's and he just eyes just kind of roll back in his head, and he just kind of crumples to the ground. You know this kind of wound, he's going to suffocate.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be a painful death.
Just.
And he just drops. You have more movement left.
I do have more movement left.
And you see that archer. And his eyes are kind of, especially as you came around it, just with your hand, kind of. He doesn't know if you broke his neck or whatever, but you definitely collapsed his larynx.
Yeah, I'll definitely.
Nice.
I'm just
kind
gonna
of bounce off the wall.
Nice.
Just kind of
Well,
dig into
you
the
see
corner.
him bounce out of sight, and you hear on the other side, but yeah.
I guess I'll be like, what the hell did you fire an arrow at me for?
I'm sorry. So these other guys. So these two actually are going to take shots at you from where they are with light crossbows. An 8.
Yep.
And a 9. And then they drop it, and then they draw scimitars.
Gotcha.
And actually, he backs up to here. And that's it for them. Gunn.
Oh, well, that sucks. Let's see. Alright, well, Gunn's gonna do what Gunn does. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10, 15, 25, 30.
Okay.
Get in there, rushing, bonus action rage.
So as you came out, because I didn't think it was going to change anything, that one right there was holding his action.
Okay.
He takes a shot.
I would have raged before.
Exactly.
That's cool.
No,
Yep.
that's what I was going to say.
Yep.
So he takes a shot at you and rolls a 1.
Nice.
And just goes, and it looks at his crossbow. Ah! And
I
just
think
throws it to the ground.
he'll be swinging the chain as
Right.
the anchor.
And they're all just like, oh my God, they've never seen anything like that. You see genuine fear in their eyes as you're swinging there, and they're kind of ducking under it, trying to stay out of
All right.
the sweep of it. Tolbar.
Can I use Twin Spell on Witch Bolt? I don't see anything claiming I can't, but it seems weird to be able to concentrate
As
on.
as long as it.
Two separate targets.
It's a
they're
single
in
target
range.
that it would.
Right.
There was one we looked up. Chaos Bolt, you can't.
Yeah.
The one that has the potential to jump, you're not allowed
that's
to.
what
right.
it said.
But
That's a
Witch
that's a
Bolt,
table.
yes.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah. You could make an athletics or acrobatics to kind of roll up onto the table if you wanted.
That's okay. So I can get... Yeah, I can definitely get 2 of them with Witch Bolt from here. So I will... Oh, Witch Boltify these 2 guys.
Okay, I think you rolled a hit with that?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I have to spend sorcery point. And so I want to. Would I be rolling? I guess I'd be rolling for each of them.
Separately.
Okay.
Roll
Okay.
your wild magic first.
Okay. That. What do I have to roll to have?
One.
1. Okay.
It's 50-50 chance if you use your what's it called?
Tides of Chaos.
Tides of Chaos, which
Right.
gives you advantage on an attack roll.
That's what I was thinking about doing now,
Yeah.
but
Lydia had the philosophy that she was always going to do it. Because not most, but a good number of the wild magics are actually beneficial anyway.
and it's more
So
fun.
Lydia was like, I'm going, like, every time I have the chance, I'm going to take it.
Tides of Chaos.
Okay,
on the
well,
first
roll
one.
your 50-50.
Okay, so what do
So
you
if
want me to
you
roll?
roll 50 or above,
Okay, so
it'll
roll
trigger.
100
Or
per
51.
percentile. 27.
all right. You feel the magic kind of pulsing through your stone hand. But you manage to control it.
Nice.
But I regain it.
It's back now. Yeah.
Okay.
So do your first attack.
23.
Yep, you hit him.
Okay, so that's for D12, yeah?
Yep.
Panic.
It's
Or
your
7?
D10.
Okay. And then you can roll your to hit on the other one.
Okay. And I can just do it again, right?
I
Or
don't know,
no,
is it-
once
is
per
it-
turn.
is it-
So the way it's supposed to work is you use it, and then at any time after on a different spell casting, if it's level 1 or higher,
Okay.
the DM can choose to give it back to you by triggering a wild magic
Oh,
surge.
right.
It doesn't surge technically when you use it. It's
Right.
it's basically it's a binary thing. He's spent it, now it's gone.
Okay.
Now anytime he casts a level 1 or higher spell, you can be like, guess what? Wild magic surge, but you get it back.
Right.
So in this case, you can make him roll the 50. If you're
Which I already
doing
made him roll the 50,
50-50.
so it's a so you'll have it
Yeah.
back, not for this attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
13.
Hit.
Sweet.
So go ahead, roll your damage.
I read that section like 10 times.
Yeah.
Like it's just worded weird.
3.
All right, so he puts his hand out and just 2 arcs of just like to the
Awesome.
point where like they're kind of shielding their eyes because it's so bright. It's not like blindingly bright, but it's bright enough. Hits them both square in the chest, and they just kind of pulse for a second, and then their chests explode and they fall over dead.
Nice.
You kill both of them.
I
These
think
two?
Yeah. Oh no, actually the fourth.
This one?
Yeah.
I think I'd say, do the rest of you want to die?
No. That's not her turn. That's his turn. So he drops his longbow, draws a short sword, and
Plunges it into his own chest.
6 is gonna miss you, and a 13 probably will miss you.
13 misses.
We have 14?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so he just takes a short sword, and again, he's just trying to, he just saw the guy explode behind him, and he's just, the anchor is swinging over his head, and in fact, like his first attack, the anchor hits his hand and almost knocks the short sword out of his hand, but he just comes back, and you just, you have the butt of it, just kind of knock it aside.
Sweet.
Effortlessly. The other one does the same. Drops his bow, takes a short sword out. Rolls a 1. With that one. The second one will hit you. 4. 5 points of damage.
Gotcha.
Okay. So Bairos.
Alright. Well, I'm going to take the attack action
Okay.
with me mitts.
Mm.
That definitely won't do it, but I will spend a key point.
Oh, I should have forgot. I should have spell generators.
Tight. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we also got some
Yeah, here, I'm
divines.
gonna
3 divines.
Spend one on this attack.
Yeah.
There you go. That divine
Did it?
helped you. That was Devin, I think.
And that is 7. And then here is my 7 damage, sorry.
Right.
And then here's my second one. That would be a 14.
That hits.
And that'll be 5 damage.
Okay. So again, the first shot, you come in hard like a knife hand into his shoulder, and you can feel like the arm either dislocating or breaking. And then the second one, you just come around with like a kick to the side of his head, and he just falls down.
Tight. I guess I'll start moving after that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40.
What are these?
Beds.
Cots.
Is it reasonable to think I could high step it
Oh,
up?
yeah.
Just.
Actually, they're water beds.
I wish these fuckers had water
Actually,
beds.
They're rot grub beds.
Oh, yeah.
They're quicksand beds.
Just a bunch of little grubs in there with the
they're
covers
just
up to their heads.
Alright. So the one henchman, he's got his scimitar or saber out. I don't think I saw you. 6.
You're not very good at this game.
All right, well, I will be staring at that woodman swinging the anchor, and I will attack recklessly. I'm not doing the swing, though. I'm not doing the...
You're not doing the extended.
Yeah, I don't...
There's no reason to, actually. Well, I do extra damage, but...
The extra damage.
But it would offset everything.
Math-wise, I think it's not quite worth it, but I will swing upon him with reckless, which will be a 19.
Oh, yeah. It's... And you're hitting which one, though?
The leader dude. Sweet, that's going to be 16 points of damage.
Just cave in the side of his head.
Oh, he didn't say he's dead. He just only has one head side left.
And then, like a bonus action or interact, I'm gonna choke back up on the anchor and turn to the other one and be like, "We're gonna smash your face in two unless you drop that weapon."
No roll. He just drops it. They were ready to surrender.
All right.
Anyway, he's like, "My bad, mate. My
He'll
bad."
be breathing real heavy, like.
There we go. Oh, never hear from me again.
Oh, well, we ain't just gonna let you go, at least not yet, but as long as you're a nice little helper and tell us some information about exactly what the fuck is going on here, we'll make sure you get out of here with your life, mate. Does that sound pretty good?
Well, let's not make any promises.
Give me an intimidate check.
Alright. That's an 11.
He's like, yeah, sure. I'll tell you whatever you want, mate. Yeah, sure.
Alright, well, first up, who are you, and what's this all about? I think he'll just kind of casually lean against the anchor, too, like, shifting demeanor.
He's like, there's Bairos. This is our hideout. We're just trying to make some money. You know it is.
I do indeed.
I'm not sure why you're here.
Are you affiliated with anyone in Port Sargosha?
No.
Yeah?
Roll insight on that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't get it.
Nope.
Yeah, probably. 21.
Yeah, I don't really detect any deception from him. He seems pretty scared.
Alright. So yours just some bandits taking up whatever in here. What kind of loot you got? Time's been good to you? Been treating you good?
The boss's chamber's right over there. You can take whatever you want.
Oh, we will. Yep, thank you.
How have you been making your money?
The smugglers.
And
Smuggle.
Is this a, what do you call it? What's the thing?
Hideout.
Beyond a hideout. What do you call
A
it?
house.
A drop. A cache.
safe house.
Yeah, like a...
There's a term for it. I read about it in pirate stories.
Yeah, no, there probably is, and I mean, it'll come to me once it comes to you, too.
Anyway, we get it. Is that where the downstairs go?
Some caves down there.
Caves?
Lead down to right by the water.
She could hidden
That's
port.
how we smuggle things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, that's good. Yep, you got a boat.
Well, we don't know here. There's a boat that does come.
Okay,
I don't
see.
know much about that, though.
Do people come here and they pick up from you, or do you...
Down in the caves.
Down in the cave, yep. Of course. You expecting to pick up anytime soon?
Well, I don't know.
Don't know. Boss just tells you.
Samurai would know.
That's the boss.
Yeah.
We'll go ask him.
Is this one of the
That's his
bosses?
room over there.
Oh, is he in there?
No.
Oh.
Did we kill him?
Oh, jinx.
No. He's a more of a slider type.
Like a small burger.
Nose and such.
That kind, yeah. Well, we'll probably
But
smash
smart and good, good with people.
Yeah, like me.
Like me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like all of us.
Right.
I mean, you've been a smuggler.
Yeah.
I mean, you know that.
You
not,
get it.
you're
Someone's
not-
got to be the
right.
face.
Not all smugglers are like killers and cutthroats.
Yeah.
You can't tell if this guy is or not. He might just be stupid.
Yeah, gotcha.
I mean, Bairos is kind of like, gig's a gig.
Do you attack everyone you see, or just us? Are we special?
Well, you can't go hard out. You can't really do it over here. It's not exactly legal.
That is true. I mean, in the general
They're
pirate smuggler code,
They've
you
been
know.
clamping down on smoggling reports. So go so.
Yeah. They have
indeed.
indeed been clamping down on smuggling.
Well,
Well,
do you need a fourth? I can
Nope.
help.
well, hold on. I mean, we do have a bit of a mess to clean up in the cellar.
Oh, the body.
The body, yep.
Yeah, that was gonna scare people off.
Oh, that was you.
Did you know there was a bunch of nasty worms in it?
What? No,
Yeah,
that body's been there for a while.
yeah, a bunch of
We don't
nasty
go
worms.
through that area.
Well, the
He
worms
kind of points
probably...
over the stairs. We'll go through that way.
Yeah, the worms came in likely through his butthole and replaced all his innards.
What?
We don't
Yeah.
know.
Did it get in your bones?
Nope.
We don't. I
Definitely.
mean, it may not manifest immediately, so.
But you might need to check Tolbar's later.
Did you get one in your butthole?
Well, my armhole.
It made a hole in the
Yeah,
arm,
it's-
so there wasn't a pre-existing
Worms
arm hole.
find a way.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that.
How did he die? Did he say that? Sorry.
Well, he came in snooping around.
By himself, or was he with a party?
No, he was by himself, which we thought was strange.
Brave and stupid.
Yeah.
Yep. Seen it 1,000 times.
He was just crying out to some god that he worshipped as took him down.
Yeah.
Felt kind of bad, but it is.
Well, you paid for it.
How would I pay?
Well, we made a bit of a
We
mess
kind
of
of-
the place. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't mean to, but we kind of,
Not
Made up for
necessarily you personally, but
You as in your organizational you.
Right. He looks very confused.
Anyways, I think we could do with a simpleton to do some menial tasks for us.
I'm good with blade. I'm not.
Do we need to, though?
We wouldn't get rid
I'm
of
just kidding,
Bairos.
Bairos.
He's like, kind of laughs uncomfortably.
it would be like, enjoy that new water skin fucker.
What's that? You're a water skin fucker?
Not me.
Is that why?
Well,
Not for a while. I mean, I'm just saying, we don't have to take him with us everywhere, but while we're here,
I could also introduce you to Samuel.
I like the sound
Okay,
of that. Like the
okay.
sound of that.
You obviously know your way around killing.
We do.
Aye.
Mhm.
Yep,
That's
we do.
1. 2. Kill the rest of my mates. But, I mean, it is that way. I
And if
that
you
goes.
has the jobs to do, then we could do the jobs and take a bigger cut of the pot. Right?
Yes.
If you've got a delivery.
And we could take that boat.
Now, I
It's
love
more
what
like
you
a
just
ship.
said.
It's more like a ship.
Well, we're ready. We've got an anchor, and we could replace every piece of wood.
Where
And
did you get that? You saw that? I've never seen anything like that in my
you
life.
found me, if you want to know the truth.
Is it alive?
I think maybe in a way.
Really?
It's got some words on it that I can't read, but it spoke to me. Yeah.
It's a speaking anchor?
Well,
Definitely not
it spoke
alive.
to me the way like a meal speaks to your stomach, you know.
Sure.
We're
You guys know what I mean.
Your meals don't talk.
I know what
do
you mean.
nope,
Okay.
not mine. Not mine.
You don't get what they say. He doesn't get what you say, but he'll go along with what you say.
Brain matter still on the end of the anchor, anyways.
All right, well, we're willing to hire you. I mean, if you
For
make
free.
for now, there's a chance that
You
we'll
don't know.
get you some pay.
You can't earn loyalty by making someone work for you for free. We'll give him
He's got a good point.
No.
we'll give
Now
him an
you-
honest wage.
Yup.
We let him keep his brains inside his head.
Now, let me explain
He has a
something.
point also.
Real quick, I do think I'm gonna be like, let me explain something about making someone work for you without any kind of compensation. It
Oh,
breeds,
it's optional.
it breeds something rotten inside him, alright? So we'll pay him. We'll
All
pay
right.
a fair wage if he's gonna take him with him.
All right.
I'll be like,
Anyways, so he is right though. We did spare your brain from being at the end of my anchor. Or one of you fine
I
gentlemen.
totally forgot the name I gave him. Do you remember?
It was like
Jaros.
Jaros.
Because I was thinking Jared. from Subway.
No, definitely not him.
Why would you be thinking that?
Well, we gotta kill him.
We're not bringing him with
Alright,
us.
he's gonna die.
He's out. Dump it.
I changed my mind. You remind me of somebody.
What?
I'll be
I
like,
think about him a lot. I don't know what to tell you.
I'll be like, Bairos. Well, that's a pretty good name. Not as good as Bairos, which is my name.
That's true. I really was not thinking of your name.
So we might just name you something else.
Yeah, we might come up with something.
Like a
else.
nickname or something.
Yeah.
Oh, I like names.
Like Jun.
Like John's. I don't know what John is, but I don't mind it. Maybe we'll give you something
Tolbar?
like Joel Bar.
Hey, at least Tolbar wouldn't sound like those things they put down to make you make the payment on the road.
We'll give you. No, let's give him a cool one. We'll give you like knife or something.
No, he doesn't get a cool nickname. We haven't even seen him do anything except stand here gibbering.
Yeah, but if he's really bad, but he has a real badass name, it'll be funny. It'll be like, what if he's terrible at it, but everyone's like, oh, damn, that's the destroyer of worlds, but he trips on his own feet.
Send a knife, even though he doesn't know how to use a blade. I like
Exactly.
it. Knife it is.
Let's make sure he's terrible first, though.
I know, but if he's good,
should
it
I
also
have a
makes
knife,
sense.
then?
No, you don't,
Nope,
don't need the knife.
it's funnier if you don't.
Yeah, people will be expecting you have a knife, but you've got a short sword.
So I take knives from people.
I mean, yeah, you could take
Yeah,
a knife.
we'll work. We'll
Like
work
knife
out the
wise.
details.
Like-
We'll give you a
work out the
screwdriver.
Specific details.
All right, so knife, you're hired for now. Provisionally, you're with us. You're on basically a contract basis.
Right. Contract basis.
But surely the first job's free. No, that's okay.
No. 1% of the share.
Oh, okay, so the compensation for now.
Well,
What's
the 33, 33, 33, 1.
Oh, okay.
It should be livable.
You as
assuming-
surprised as me that added up to 100.
That's damn good.
Well, I learned my maths, counting out the ropes, counting out distances. You got no choice but to count ship's bells. I can do much math. I can do numbers. And letters.
I like it.
I know at least 50% of the letters.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so. 1%, that adds us up to an even 100. And when we make our fortune, you too will get a cut of that fortune.
Does that percent ever go up?
Potentially.
We'll have to talk about
Like
that.
if I learn to use a knife, like really well.
Well, we'll have to change your name.
Like if you do something real awesome, like here's normal level work, and that's 1% work. But if you start taking initiative, and then you do something real
You
awesome,
find us a great job, you swing like with a knife in your teeth. And,
Well, what if I get you hired with Samboulay?
hired, we're not necessarily looking for like a boss situation.
That is true. We are an independent operation.
Now we'd be willing to work with them, do a job, but they wouldn't be our direct boss.
Like hired for a job, like
Right.
He's not good with people not telling him doing what he says. He's nice about it, but
Well, we
he's a bit of a tempest.
We might as well just go work it out with him, and either we're doing a job as mates, or we might just
Crushing his fucking skull.
yeah, I mean, he might have to die.
All right,
You have no problem with him dying?
Knife soundboard.
I like knife.
no problem at all.
Stab him in the back with his knife.
But yeah, make a way. We're not.
He starts looking for a knife.
We're not going violence option first. But if it goes
Like
bad,
that is a
1.5.
Contender.
yeah, it's a close second to if words don't work,
1.5.
violence.
Yes. Like a thin layer of words and a hard candy center of violence.
Like a
Using
cake.
no more than half the alphabet,
Well, right.
which is our only choice.
All right, knife. Take us.
December, you know what? Let's take a quick rest here.
Yeah. Let's take a quick rest.
All right.
Yeah, I can use a break.
So you were about to say something.
No, it wasn't.
All right.
Okay. Oh wait, we should.
Jeff was, but knife wasn't.
God, speak to us.
Yeah, take him.
So there are like foot lockers.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
bottom
we'll
of
be
the-
we'll be
We are
rifling through
fucking-
those just as we're talking.
Yeah.
just-
Yeah, we'll go through the cash registers at the Foot Locker.
Yeah, we'll get some new shoes.
So
Hey,
you get 70 gold and 150 silver, and one of those foot lockers is his.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely confiscate that. Nah, we'll let him keep his.
Yeah.
Okay, so 93 gold and 135 silver.
93 gold.
So 31 each. Gold. And I don't remember the silver number.
Just say, what did I say, 100. I'll just round it up to all the gold. It's easier that way.
Yeah, let's just do all gold.
So just say 40 gold each.
Okay.
And he gets none of this cut. This is our spoils. He wasn't part of the team.
Okay.
But let him keep his locker.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
That's
He
his
did,
cut.
yeah.
We'll take it out of his next paycheck.
That's to buy your uniform.
And he kind of points back, and he's like, "That's Chamberlain's room back there. It is locked, but I'm sure with that anchor, you can break through pretty quick.
Could
I
definitely.
would stay away from the other one, and you see another door that has like a bar on this side, and actually the door looks like it's even bulged a little bit.
What?
Oh, do you keep him back there?
Well, keep the skeletons.
Well, we're not going to stay out of there then.
Why?
When you say they're skeletons,
Yeah, the skeletons.
they are animated skeletons?
Oh, yeah, they get up and they'll stick you right.
Are there more in there than when you first started having them?
I don't know. We just locked it up as soon as we saw them.
Do you communicate with them?
No, but they try to beat down the door every once in a while.
Do you have maybe a viewport? And if so...
Why would you want to see skeletons? They scared the crap out of me. I don't want to go in there.
It's true, though, I don't...
There's nothing to be afraid of. We've all got a skeleton inside of us. You know that, right?
What?
Mm-hmm.
Just waiting to get out.
That's terrifying.
Well, I mean,
I
hate to be, know...
So let me ask you. So all my mates think the skeletons are going to crawl out of them and attack us?
I don't know that they're just going to crawl out. I think it takes a little bit of magic to sort of pull the puppet strings up. Most skeletons, they just...
So how did those skeletons come to be? I'm quite fascinated with it now.
That makes four of us.
That absolutely makes four of us.
I like Knife. I like this guy.
But for now, I do agree with Knife that we shouldn't open it right now.
His name is Knife.
How do we just say?
He didn't fight John.
No, I like it. I love Knife. Knife times are like, that sucks.
No, I hope that it turns the other way. We're like, someone got Knife!
Yeah.
Like, all right.
So is the name of the episode Never Bring a Knife to a Fight?
Yeah, exactly.
I think it's bones are forever.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Oh man, bones are forever.
And people will click it thinking it's some like dark creepy thing, but it's really like a Zales slogan.
Sex.
All right.
We will definitely be coming back for those skeletons, but let's focus on the job. We are professionals. As
So you can do your short rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can spend hit dice.
Rages come back on long rests, right?
That's correct.
Damn, why did I burn them up?
Well, I mean, we did have a room full of baddies.
That's true.
I don't really get any.
And the worm tracker.
So
There is
I am introducing the concept of minions.
Yep. Got it.
So basically, a lot of those guys just have one hit point, including Knife.
Nice. Yeah, but Knife gets to level up once he's with us for a while,
Absolutely, Knife will transform into an.
Have you seen those sidekick rules in the UA?
No.
They're sort of like a half-level character. It's like they get some of the benefits.
I'll take a look.
They might get like an ASI every 6 levels and
Right.
like one ability. And it's kind of cool.
We'll see how Knife goes.
Yeah. He's definitely going to survive this episode.
And then to get turned into a skeleton.
All right, so
All right, let's go. Let's go talk to the boss.
to Sombrero.
Well, we're going in his room.
Yeah.
Right. If he's not there, we'll just see what he has.
We're pretty sure he's not there. Knife said he's not there, right?
Oh no, we don't there.
Oh, I
We
missed
don't
that.
even have to
Well, his
do
room
it.
is there.
We don't have to do a smashy and all. Oh fuck! I'm gonna got a lockpick.
You've been holding that in your mouth this whole time.
Wow, all the time.
All out of pockets?
No, I got more thieves' tools here, but just the one lockpick I keep right over
It's the
here.
special one.
Good for getting meat out of his mouth.
In case you're
Right.
nude.
It's a poop knife.
It's not a poop knife.
I'm sorry.
Poop knife.
Poop
A
knife?
what?
Yeah, poop knife. Like
He reaches into his.
Is that what you want your name to be?
And he pulls out this old, rusty-looking, nasty-looking knife. Poop knife.
So is your first name Poop, and your last name is Knife?
No, my name's just Knife. I
all
thought we
right.
decided on that.
Besides all that,
What is a...
Knife, I need an explanation and Gun of what a poop knife its main function
Are
is.
they serious?
Because I'm thinking it's cutting up poop.
Well, yeah, but if you're using the privy, like on a ship,
Right.
and
It gets wedged in there.
right, the cook made a bunch of cabbage,
Yeah.
and you find yourself,
And sometimes you can't get in there right away and it just backs up.
right,
And you're just like, oh, and it hurts real bad. But it's just polite. Because the next person goes in there, there's a big log in there, and you take your poop knife and you cut it, and it slides right down. It's just polite.
It's how, when you're on a ship, you gotta look out for each other's in many ways, right? I mean, you're out there for a long
You've
time.
been on a ship, right?
Oh, I've never been on a ship in
You
my entire
Ah,
life.
you've
well.
pooped. Oh, but have you pooped?
Oh, I've definitely pooped.
I've also pooped.
Well, that's good. I
Right.
suppose, right?
Yep. Didn't actually know how much poop.
Oh, here you go.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Knife.
75% of the day.
All right.
But
But if you have to poop, just let me know.
got it. You've got a poop knife. Do you have a poop knife on you?
You have your sword now.
Yeah. Got a new
Poop
one.
anchor.
It's for the really big ones.
That's genius.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes not everyone's considerate, and there's a big line into the pooper, and it just piles up.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to sit down and sit on other people's poop. So the sword, and it would get right out. That's a brilliant idea.
So you got a nice
Yep.
poop
What we
knife post chateau.
Uh-huh. He means house.
Understood.
Alright, let's go check.
I would like to be now
During
picking
the conversation, stop everyone. Hold on.
and just
Okay, give me open locks, which is basically Dex plus proficiency.
gotcha.
Plus 5, I guess.
19.
Yep, it wasn't really pretty. It was a pretty simple lock.
Yep.
Door opens. You see, it kind of goes back about that far. It's a comfortable looking bed in the corner in here. There's a wooden locker at the foot. There's a small wooden table in here that's against the wall. Some padded leather chair behind it. On the table, you see some candlesticks. None of them are burning at this time. And a fairly, pristine-looking bullseye lantern sitting on the table.
Well,
There's also a shelf with some books on it, too.
well. Let's toss the fucking room. There's got to be something good in here.
Absolutely. Although if we're potentially making a contract with him, we should still take everything, but maybe don't leave a mess.
See, that's considerate. We'll not leave a mess.
No, I've got a new job for you. You're the lantern boy. There you go. When we enter dark places, you fire that up, make sure we can see.
That makes sense.
Yep.
That's a nice lantern.
That is a nice lantern. You can always sell it if we wind up not needing it.
This is one lantern.
It is, until we maybe want to sell it, in which case you will get 1% of the
1%
proceeds.
of the gold.
That's
Who needs a
exact-
lantern when you have a fraction of a gold piece?
Well, yeah, I suppose. 1% if it comes down to that.
For now, I think
Round it up.
I think the real value in that is going to be just lighting up the dark places, right? And then down the road, we'll see if it's the monetary value we're more interested in.
Right.
Well, yeah, we definitely take it all, and then if things go well, we'll give it back.
Just sell it back.
By having all of his belongings, it starts us in a position of power for the discussion to come.
Or you can just take his place. Become samurai.
Okay.
Right? You're very charismatic.
Right, yep.
Not so much.
Not a good
I
judge of
think
character.
you're obviously the leader.
Yeah, we hadn't really fully discussed it, but that does make
It
sense.
just makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
He who carries the anchor and all.
He only gets 1% of the vote, correct?
Yep.
Okay, good.
33%, 33%. So that's 66% that think that we're charismatic.
All right, well, let's put it to a vote then. Who do we think is the leader? Because I'm voting for myself.
I vote for... What was your name again?
Gunn.
Gunn. I vote for Gunn.
Fucking tiebreaker here.
Oh, I see what you're doing. Because if I vote for myself and he votes for himself, well, you've still got a majority because you got Knife over here. So you're trying to think that I'm going to be selfish and vote for myself.
You know what? I feel bad for even bringing it up. We do not have a leader.
That's what we said. Equal partners.
Yes. I'm sorry.
Right, I was not going to vote for myself.
He just got me excited saying, the nice things about me. Started
Yeah,
having
of course.
Too much, so...
Knife, who the fuck do you think you are? Voting 10 minutes into the group.
He asked me to vote.
Well,
In fairness, I did.
as the leader,
It was a bit
vote
of
when I
collaboration.
ask you to. I'm just kidding, we don't have a leader. But if we
don't
did,
have
it
a
would be
leader.
me.
Not my vote. Alright, let's toss this room. Let's take everything we want.
All right.
I think Gunn will have forgotten everything and just said and flip the bed. Just immediately here we go. Oh,
Wait. We could take the beds upstairs, though. There's
yeah.
definitely not smashy all the beds. We can
Yeah.
smash a couple in this room just because, as you said, it's fun.
At least a couple, but yeah,
We'll say it happened in the
I'm gonna
fight.
push two
Yeah, they're
together.
water beds, how can you not smash them?
I'm gonna push two together for myself. Be right comfortable. Sleep like a king.
Yeah, we'll pull them all up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What is in the room? God.
actually, is this room super clean compared to the rest of the
It
place?
is. Yeah.
Maybe we'll just be sleeping here, boys.
Yeah. It's a big dump, like a king size or queen size bed. I mean, it's a big full bed.
Oh, I mostly meant this.
Oh,
room.
in there, and
it's
it's
like
also
cleaner
clean.
than the rest of the house,
yeah,
at least.
100%.
Yeah,
Hey,
cool.
in this room, though, what we could do?
It's still wet down here and
Yeah.
damp and stuff, but it's cool actually.
Right.
We could pull a couple of those other beds in here as well, and it could be an entire bedroom. All beds.
A bedroom.
It's just a room of beds.
I mean,
It's all mattresses.
I don't see
You climb right up in.
I don't see a single downside to this. I mean, I think it's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm here for.
Yep. Knife. That'll be your
Yeah.
job.
Prison.
That'll be your job later.
Please push the beds together.
All right, so you kind of rifle through everything. You find a couple things in here. You find a book, like an illustrated book of erotic poetry.
Skeleton or
No
just
skeletons
regular?
in
Okay.
it. I know you rifle through.
Yeah, he's like-
nope.
You're looking in the index for
You
skeleton.
do find a naval almanac in here with
Cool.
charts and navigational charts.
I am actually
Twice.
proficient.
Nephews.
I'm proficient in navigation tools, so I'd like to have a moment of here we go. This is showing the meridian. We could
Yep.
take this, navigate through the.
I think every time he says something that sounds smart, we look at each other
Yeah,
like,
just-
what?
Yeah.
So basically, what it's showing is it's got tidal charts on it for pretty large area within 100 or so miles of Port Sargosa. It also has the charts that take you through an area called the Reefs. The Reefs are basically it is not anything you would know this 100%. It's notorious pirate isles that are they're east of the Isle of Phaetus, which is this massive island, almost like a small continent in the middle of the sea. There's also a book. It's actually in common. It's a treatise on Keshkatai, the Master of Signs. So if you have knowledge religion, you can roll, or you can just roll an intelligence check.
I'll just pass, because...
I'll give it a roll. Don't have religion. Oh,
Nice.
I don't have religion, but I...
Yeah, you
I rolled
you
a
beat me though.
He is one of the dark gods, but he's a god of magic.
No, that sounds like... And what is the book called again? Sorry.
Keshkatai, the Master of Signs.
Okay. And it's just about...
Yeah, it's a treatise on the god itself.
Gotcha.
Kind of talking it's real high level information about the god. Basically, he among the dark gods, he is. It talks about it in there that he is rumored to be the most powerful of the dark gods, but he does not rule them, just because he just kind of doesn't care.
Right.
But if he wanted to, it talks about that he could take over the pantheon of the dark gods and rule them. But Orgiana, the who is the current leader, he just he just has no. It seems like he just has no desire to. it looks like it talks a lot about undead and like demon summoning.
Gotcha.
So, good, happy stuff.
Yeah.
I like it.
I think powerful magic.
It's not like how to do it. It's
Yeah,
just
right.
like just a brief, just talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look at it and be like, ugh, slept through this lesson before.
I think I'd be interested enough to where I'd hold on to it with plans of browsing.
Okay.
I'll keep the poetry.
Control F skeletons.
You never know. There are a couple other like rare versions of like popular novels
Gotcha.
that are in
Like
there.
Charles Dickens.
Yeah.
Is, like
Exactly.
equivalent.
First
Collector's
editions.
edition, yeah.
So they're worth some gold if you sell them to the right people. In fact, you know a perfect person.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll just throw these in a pack. Ooh, look at that gold. What's they call that? Gold filigree.
We won't throw them in a pack. We'll be very careful because we happen to know somebody who's at a rare bookshop.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so you figure you could probably, I'll just tell you can just put, if you wanted to put 10 extra gold each.
Okay.
That's
Cool.
basically what you
Yeah, that's the easiest thing to do.
There's also kind of hanging on a hook on the wall. There's a very fine looking oilskin cloak. So you would assume he was his cloak. So basically, it's just like woven cotton or wool that's been treated to be water resistant.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty nice cloak. Want to use? Look pretty good in that.
What you thinking?
Bit small for me.
Bit big for me. Bit
Well-
just right for you.
Sounds good for me.
The gold.
Looks like you got a sweet new cloak.
Look at this. Look, how do I look?
Quite
I'll put up
fancy.
the hood. Just.
Mysterious.
And then as you're looking around, give me an investigation check.
Very mysterious indeed.
I got a 12.
10.
That's what you need.
Tight.
Yeah. You find a hidden compartment under the table. It has his spellbook in there. You can't read it.
Yeah.
But you do recognize it for what it is.
Ooh.
What's that? What you got?
A tasty spell book.
Oh, a spell book. You don't.
Take it.
You also
One-
find another small wooden box in there, and it has these different colored candles, different colored wicks. And you've seen these before. Basically, you can create effectively different colors with these candles.
Basically, can make different colors. Not exactly sure what we're going to need it for now, but I'm going to pop them in with me.
Alright, sounds good.
Probably can't read that spell book, but Sam
And then there's
Berlin got a
parchment
spell
there that
book.
talks about this somewhat elaborate signaling system that the candles are used for with the lantern.
Oh, that's why he has this feckin' nice lantern in here.
Comes full circle now.
And there's basically there's three color sequences that you can do with them. One is it is safe. The other one is it safe? The other one is everything's safe. Maybe the first one is basically it would come from the ship.
Right.
Is it safe? The second one is they would respond everything's safe and it's good. And then the last one is ready to unload, come to the ship. And this basically just confirms that everything is ready and they just come in and obviously switch the...
Oh, you boys thinking what I'm thinking?
Seems pretty safe here to me.
Seems very safe.
Safer than normal, in fact. If there could be a beyond the normal safe of everything, it would be like infinite safe.
Like if it were a spectrum of safety,
There'd be no spectrum. Just.
it'd be infinitely safe.
It'd be a circle.
Back in on itself. What do you think about that knife?
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't really...
He's still pulling the bits, trying to fit him into the door.
Never mind knife.
Sure.
Alright, well, you said you didn't know when the next ship was coming in.
No.
We'll have to put up a watch as soon as we see them.
Where were you going to introduce us to this,
Saturday?
Samberlay?
Well, he probably will come back here.
Creme brulee.
Oh, that makes sense.
Unless
Yeah.
he went down into the caves.
He's down in the caves now.
Well, earlier today he went down there, so...
But he didn't go out on a boat or anything. He's still here, you
I
think?
don't know.
He do that normally, down in the caves, a little bit.
Oh, a lot of times he'll go down there if he expects a shipment to come in.
Might be expecting a shipment today, gentlemen.
Say we get down in the caves.
Oh,
Maybe.
down in the caves.
Not in our usual noisy fashion.
Right.
We won't go.
Yeah, we'll use a bit of stealth.
At least a lack of yelling could be of use.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And as you guys are kind of in the room discussing this, you can hear pounding on that door.
As much as I want to see some skeletons, I don't know that I want to see them
Yeah,
right now.
we should push this table up in front of the door.
I mean, it's a
skeletons
thick
at bay.
bar. It does not. If the door shatters, what's being in front of it is not going to help.
Okay.
I mean, it just looks like it's kind of like, a little bit kind of pushed in.
Yeah.
Like almost.
Are these from the caves as well?
No, they were in there.
It's just a room, do you know?
Yeah, a bunch of stuff in there, like tables and files and
About how many skeletons did you think you saw?
Let me see if he was there when it happened. Natural 20. He opened the door. He had opened the door originally. He's like, well, first, it was... When he first opened the door, there was probably about, I don't know, 10? 2 handfuls of them.
10 skeletons.
Two fish.
2 fish to skeletons.
So then,
We killed some of them, but then we backed off.
So there were originally 10. You killed some.
Some of them.
So there's
It's
perhaps
pretty crazy.
between, say, 4 and 7 skeletons would be my wager.
Yes.
Could be.
closer to 7, it seems.
I'll buy that.
Well,
I ain't afraid of smashing those skellies. It sounds to me like they're not ones to make conversation, so I don't think we're going to get our answers from these boys in particular, but maybe we can just take a look around, see their living
And
situation.
there was another door in there, too.
And there's another door. And Sam Brule doesn't know about what's behind this, right?
Oh, no, he ordered us to seal it off. Didn't really need it.
He knows about the skeletons.
maybe we start with Sam
There was also
Brule.
like a weird blue light that was coming out of the door.
Alright, well, I'm
Some
getting
light.
pretty
To be
curious
honest,
now.
I might have pooped my pants a little bit when I saw it, but
Right.
We appreciate your
Luckily,
honesty.
you have the knife.
well, that's not pooping your pants.
Well, you could scrape.
Well, if it's been there for a while,
Right.
then it's good.
Yep.
You never had itchy butt, right?
I mean, at what point would it be in there for a while? And by a while would you constitute as a while?
To be honest, if you were on a ship and you've got a pretty heavy taskmaster on you, you may just poop and not be able to wipe, or poop your pants, and you just got to do your job. I mean, that's just kind of, courtesy.
I mean, I've had a rashy butt before. I have.
Right. But,
Oh,
yeah, he did. I did.
I immediately fucking regret this.
Stop messing around. Let's get back to the task at hand.
But we do need to find out how many people have heard of him. Because this is strange, but we're tied right now, and that makes me uncomfortable. And
You can't go gallivanting through Port Sargosa because all them fancy prim people, they probably got someone else to cut their poop for them if need be.
I saw what the job of mine was.
Well, I've never heard poop cutter as a profession.
It didn't pay very well, to be honest, but I did do it.
Well, you got knife now, so.
Not poop knife, not poop knife, though.
No, I'm not having any of that.
Well, let's go.
You've graduated. No more cutting, anybody else's poop, but your own poop.
Right.
And that's really what all we want in this life is to control our own poop-cutting destinies.
Right. Alright, I think we're gonna have to table the skeleton room, especially if there's weird blue light. I mean, that could be any number of things. Spellcaster, ghouls.
We'll deal with. Yeah.
About all I got.
Okay, good.
All right, so we definitely want to go just talk for now
Right.
to
Yep.
Sam Brule.
We'll get a good sleep before we go deal with those skellies. They ain't
Right,
going nowhere.
right.
I mean, you said it, bones are forever.
Right. So we'll deal with him. Definitely not leaning towards fighting or
Right.
killing. We're not.
I'm only saying that it might be that way because I feel like maybe he's going to want to
Right.
fight.
Well,
don't-
and if he wants to fight, we're certainly
Well,
going
we'll
to
fight.
oblige
We're going
him.
He's
to.
not going to be happy that
Of course he's not. And why would he
Right.
be? We just killed all his mates. But
Well, not
if
all
he's...
of them.
Well, not all of them. You're not
Well,
his
'cause we
mate
got a
anymore.
new mate.
Right, you're our mate.
He's got no
There's
more
down
mates.
there.
How many
all
more?
right.
More
Well,
knife?
we'll-
I don't know, maybe half a dozen or so.
Well,
That's
half a
6.
dozen
He's also been talking to some hobgoblins.
I'm talking to some
hobgoblins are some
Well,
nasties.
let's be honest, they're good mercenaries.
They are
good
good.
fighters.
They are good fighters.
Should we
Smart.
expect to find them down there?
Oh yeah, there's some down there for sure.
What's the percentage of hob to goblin?
It's a bit of a spectrum.
You've got goblins. You've got goblins.
You've got hobgobbles.
All right, so
Makes.
half dozen of what was in here.
Those are humans.
Right.
Mhm.
Not great though.
Right.
Not too worried.
Right.
But we got definitely one sort of magic user. Got a spell book, which means it's a wizard.
You definitely have spells. Yeah,
So
in
we've
fact,
got a wizard.
Those stairs that go up there is probably the ones that go up above. You put some kind of magical whiskey spell on.
Thank you for telling us that, Knife, because we would absolutely 100% have not known that. See, he's already earning his keep. Now,
And would have alerted him that you've come down here. So
Because
he
we
probably-
came into the nasty worm room!
Probably doesn't know anything about it. Because none of us, I didn't say anything.
now,
None of them could say
now
anything.
let me ask you a question. What's the normal procedure? If a ship were to come today, would he come up and gather the boys, rouse the boys?
Well, yeah, to get the cargo off.
Well, yeah, because we also got the lantern, so he's not making a signal without a
And
lantern.
so my
So if we
question
wait-
is,
It's also, they come at night.
right, and it is still early in the day.
It's morning.
Well,
Well, you guys were rummaging around the house.
Oh, yes. Afternoon.
It's probably like late afternoon.
It's late afternoon. It's definitely
So
not
what we
morning
could
anymore.
do-
He also goes down there just to make
Let
sure that
the
everyone is
skeletons
doing their
out.
jobs and stuff like that.
I wasn't thinking that, but yes.
Let the old skeletons out. We'll go past the other door.
they take care of each other.
Shield
We
it
come
back
back
up.
to maybe one skeleton.
To whatever's left. Or we just ambush him as he comes up the stairs.
Question.
Mhm.
If the skeletons come out, will they pull the skeletons out of the people they're fighting and make more of them that way?
Well,
Is that how they're made?
No.
Do you know?
Do I know? I think I know.
I was fairly certain that the answer was no, but now
After
that I'm
hearing
thinking
about
about it, I'm honestly not fully sure.
you might be onto something nice.
I mean, it's dark magic, right?
I want to definitely be able to say that wouldn't happen, but before about 30 minutes ago, I would have definitely not thought that a poop knife existed.
That's where I am.
Right.
So the world's kind of brand new to me.
I still like the idea.
Well, plus if they pull out more skeletons, that's more people going to deal with some hobgoblins.
But then, what if they come back?
Well, then we'll just wreck them.
Alright?
I don't hate the idea. I also don't hate the idea of just kind of taking the fights to them. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I'm
kind of
also-
my style,
I'm also okay
if
with
I'm
that.
being
too.
honest.
But I heard 6 humans and some amount of hobgoblins. 6 humans? Okay. 6 humans and some hobgoblins?
He didn't know how many hobgoblins.
Right.
All he knows is
I don't disagree with you, and
they've
I
just
am.
been negotiating with the hobgoblins.
Okay, so there's technically there might not be any hobgoblins here.
Well, yeah, I haven't been down there in a couple of days, so no.
And technically there might be 10.
So a number from
That's
0
two
to well, whatever fit into a cave.
Spectrum of hobgoblins, yeah, but we're not facing no hobgoblin army, and we could just sneak down a bit, take a peek-see, and if there's too many hobgoblins, we just turn right round.
All right, I'm
All
good
right.
with it. The thing is, you're talking to a thief. I've been quiet for a long time. Plus, this oil slicked coat. Is it darker than what I? Anyway,
Is it darker than what you're wearing?
what I was wearing before? Like would I look like I blended more into a cave? I suppose with whatever.
Well, it's like a crimson, like a deep crimson.
Oh, deep crimson. Got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave this here for now.
Like dark red.
Oh no, I'm gonna keep it on. Fuck it, I'm gonna keep it on. It's
Takes
too
it off,
cool.
puts it back on.
It looks too cool.
If I,
brown.
because even if I died, I don't want to die in just what I'm wearing. I want to die in they'll be like, oh, look at the cloak on that guy.
Yeah, you don't want to die
Without a cloak.
lame.
Right.
Yeah, Definitely not. Not that I'm going to. Not from these.
You're not gonna die.
I mean, if they're fighting at knife and below level, I'm fine.
You all right about that? Knife and his mates are pretty shit. So, anyways,
Well, we don't really know how you are, actually.
Seeing the results.
We didn't have to kill you, so maybe you're the best of them all. Maybe
At
you're
least
really
the
At
tough.
least the smallest, thank you.
yep.
Right.
Definitely the smartest.
Least dead.
Feck it, let's go.
All right, let's go.
Knife, can we trust you?
Yes.
We can trust Knife. He shared everything about his own history and past. Told you about his
Told
poop
you about the
knife.
magic. Woo, upstairs.
He's never betrayed anybody in his life.
Despite you all giving him all kinds of shit about a perfectly reasonable tool with a perfectly reasonable function.
Well, let's be honest.
Oh, was
I came up with the cool name. I did name him Knife, which is better than Bairos.
It is a...
Knife was pretty good. I'll give you that. Absolutely.
Well, yeah, but
My mom gave me a blankie. You don't
But-
see me walking around with it.
He got you there, Knife. Nobody has their mummy blanket.
He was a little happy, but he... Fair enough.
Yeah, nobody has your mummy blanket. Now you don't have your mummy name. Let's go.
Time to get off the teat. Let's go.
yeah, definitely none of us sleep with a shred of a blanket that they've got from their mom many years ago and carried with them through their life.
Why are you talking?
Ah!
Why are you...
Yeah, roasted. Absolutely roasted.
Bairos,
Seem a little worked up.
how come you're making so much noise when the rest of us were kind of over that joke already?
It just hit me.
You know, it
Later.
seems like whenever I see whenever I see the guys taking offense to something because it struck a little too close to home, they was the ones who laughed the loudest. You got a blanket in there?
You got a blankie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
His eyes are well enough.
Nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a few shreds of what was a blanket that wrapped me when I was a baby. But I have it now, and sometimes I rub it against my face when I'm going to sleep because it puts me to sleep easier, and I like knowing it.
Something I'll get my name back.
No! Your name's Knife.
Your name is not coming back, and I find that to be a very sweet story. And Bairos clearly loves his mum because this is the second or third fucking time he's talked about it today. And you should be so lucky to have a mum that you care about and cares about you.
Well, I wouldn't say that she cares about me like that much. But the thing about it is, I like to pretend that she cares about me, so that's part of it.
At least you got that. Let's get moving.
Boom. Let's get moving.
Let's get moving.
Maybe I'll make y'all some blankets.
I'd like that. After a bloody ass anchor. I really like that.
Nothing I want more than a blankie.
Yeah, so now that we're talking about it, not that weird that your mom gave you something that you still hold on to. Knife. In fact, as we've come around to it, it's actually pretty good that we've got names. But I'm glad you grew out of your blanket and grew into a stone hand.
And please don't get it mixed up. You are still Knife.
Absolutely, you're definitely still not.
Thank you for clarifying.
Your mom probably would have named you Knife if she'd have known you'd have been with some excellent adventurers like us.
Heroes, even.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She would have.
part of a good crew now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potential here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll see that.
Mostly potential for your brain to stay inside your skull.
He mumbles a lot.
I'll be like, you know, just, you know, I'm talking. Oh yeah,
But you're free to leave any time.
yeah, definitely would fucking destroy him.
Alright, we're going downstairs.
You know what?
I love how it takes us a half hour to do anything.
I was just thinking the same thing.
We make up sports between fights.
I hope you're enjoying it, Jeff, because
Yeah,
at least it makes your
I
life
haven't
easier.
loved it. I love it.
we just had a 30-minute thing while pulling beds into a room to discuss.
At least now I can participate a little bit with Knife.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
Knife
Oh
is your
fuck yeah!
voice.
I love having. Don't let Knife die yet.
The straight
Just
man.
a little
Yeah.
bit longer.
Uh,
But if he does, that's okay.
yeah, we don't give a shit.
We'll meet Dagger.
Yeah,
got a big
next
name.
one, Dagger.
That's a big fella. We'll call him Short. Down the stairs.
Down the stairs. Jeff, come on. Can we just...
Can I just move it along, please?
I'll lead the stealth.
Okay.
Like, I'll go out a little ahead. I got dark vision and my stealth is pretty fucking good.
Yeah. Okay. How far ahead do you want to stealth?
You know what? So my move...
Shit, I'm actually proficient in stealth. I'm pretty good at it, too.
I have +3, but not proficient.
I'll go... Well, if we want to stagger it, I got a 40-foot move. I could be 20 feet back.
I'll go second, so that I got the big anchor. And then he can be third, because he's got ranged.
And knife definitely in the back.
In the back.
He has his crossbow out.
Nice.
Yeah, hell yeah. Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
knife third. I feel like it makes sense.
That's what we set up as we start going. And
Yeah, I'll go third.
You
And
know
knife
what?
in the... Knifey, go ahead.
Knife. You're on third point.
I'll get you back. Don't worry, I won't let anyone between us.
Okay, so before we go any further, it's 10.
Yeah.
How you guys want? We go a little bit further?
I'm good either way. I do have a very early morning tomorrow with work, so
But I know
wrapping up
you.
now would be okay too.
Done by
We'll
10,
just go a little
10:30.
bit further.
Yeah, 10:30 is
Set it up
ideal.
for
But
next
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yep.
Okay,
Gotta drive all day
give
tomorrow.
me stealth checks.
I'm going to do this.
I'm gonna do that too.
Advantage. Oh, fuck yeah. That's a 22.
I got an 11.
yeah, 16.
Okay.
That's really bad.
Kobe.
What'd you get?
11.
Okay.
Fucking 22. I just...
You are the wind.
Okay. So you start heading down these stone stairs that are cut down into the bedrock. And it goes down for maybe like, almost 30, 40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of banks around and then opens up into like a natural cavern where it branches left and right. You don't see any light, and it is dark down here. So you can't see in the dark.
Correct.
And neither can
Knife.
But he's got his lantern ready to go. But he's in the back. Oh, I can't see anything.
Knife.
Shh. It's all right.
Alright, I'll back up just a little bit.
Tolbar, knife. Why don't you just wait here for just a second? We'll scout ahead just a little bit. You be ready to light that lantern, alright?
I'm ready.
Alright.
Alright.
Oh yeah, somebody. If there's other people down here, they got to see some way.
That's right. I'm thinking there's just a small little gap of darkness. Though I don't know if I'll...
Well, you see there are torches that people will pick up and carry down. You just don't have any out right now.
Gotcha. Slide up a torch,
I mean,
wouldn't be that abnormal. Have someone show up.
Yeah.
There were people up there
There were.
would have come down.
That's right. They would have. And now we're those people. We'll just grab a torch, light up a torch here.
I mean, I
Wanna be honest?
can do it with it. Just
Alright. Okay. Hey, you know what? Yeah, knife. You carry that torch for us.
Yeah, now if you carry the torch. If anything happens, you'll be fine.
I mean, I'll tell you what. I'll carry the torch because you got a crossbow, and I'm hoping you're gonna do better with your crossbow than your mates. Former mates, because where are your mates now?
And again, to be fair, we don't know how good of a fighter you are. You gave up before any of that happened.
But that is true.
It is true.
So
He took a shot at me,
He
but he
did take a
missed.
shot, yeah. I
He
heard
missed
the-
though, right?
Heard the twang.
So yeah, I
He
guess
definitely missed.
On purpose.
right. I really
Just like
I-
everybody else who shot an arrow at me.
Well, I saw you catch that first one.
Oh, yeah.
So there's no
Right.
way I'm going to hit, so I pulled up.
I would have caught yours
Right.
too, though.
No,
Just to be clear, I would have definitely caught it.
yeah, don't lie to us, knife. You don't need to do that. We're mates now.
Sure.
You could have shot at him and missed.
Yeah,
He's-
you could.
he's a
I mean, you were
sneaky-
gonna kill us if you had the
I
chance.
took my best shot.
Yeah, he's a sneaky.
Right,
fuck.
so
That's what he
you're a
does.
poor fighter. So
Well,
we'll keep
you know what? I'm not one to write you off because I am just better.
Right.
So it's not even that you're
Right.
bad. It's just that I am
He
so
has a,
good.
He has a good.
He's great, and you're good.
Well, maybe.
You're good or less. We don't really know.
That's
You're
true.
somewhere on the
On the
spectrum.
spectrum.
We'll see.
That's right. Let's let him prove
See,
himself.
that's can-do attitude.
Let's let him prove himself. And either way, we're so good, it's not even an extra fighter we need. We need someone to carry the torches and carry the packs.
If you live, you'll get to say, look how good I am. If you don't live, you won't have to answer for it.
That actually makes sense.
Here we go.
It does.
Yep.
All right,
I've got this.
Just arguing in the hallway, like
Why
with a
not?
torch.
And then trying to sell.
Yeah, did so good on the way up until we came back to deliberate.
Oh man.
Okay.
Oh man.
So you come to the bottom, and you see it kind of branches left and right. Just give me perception.
Just him.
No, actually, two of you.
Yeah. Okay.
I got a 12.
Oh, I got a 20.
You hear, you can't tell what direction, but you hear kind of hushed voices.
I'm gonna stay.
Should I calm down yet?
Wait, didn't we lit the torches and just decided to keep going all together, right?
Just fuck it, let's just walk down.
Yeah, let's just walk down.
Plus, I'm in all lead. I got the torch.
Yeah.
Even if it's...
It looks official.
Yep.
And I look like hired muscle. And he looks like...
Then he wouldn't have said anything if you guys were there.
Yeah.
All right, knife. Walk with
He
confidence.
looks like your little kid. You could hold his hand, maybe.
No.
Okay.
Most people
I'm
know
sorry
about
about
a
that.
halfling.
No,
He
you're
doesn't
right.
look like a little
They
kid.
do.
Plus, who would be bringing a little kid into a cavern
You're right.
potentially
That-
filled with hobgoblins?
That actually makes no sense. Yeah. No little kid would be involved in smuggling. That'd be a sad day.
My knife was, I suppose. Alright, I might be wrong, but we're not going to pretend that Tolbar is my child.
No,
Right.
bad idea. I don't know why I said it.
No way,
Sorry,
Daddy.
Tolbar.
No way, Daddy.
All right, let's go. Tolbar, can you please not call him Daddy? That made me feel kind of funny.
Yes, Papa, let's go.
I'd be like, yeah, I mean, father or papa works, because I've been called daddy before.
By whom? You got a kid?
You have children.
No, I don't.
Well,
Look at me.
Yeah.
Fine. All right.
I'll look back thinking they're going to get it.
I
Oh, you got it back.
I can't.
We'll be looking at each other like, no kid would.
We should do that.
It's weird.
Don't understand at all.
I always prove knives, so.
Yeah, that's true. Very different lives they've led.
Down we go.
So you head down, and you see it does branch off to your right again, but ahead of you actually see torchlight. And as you kind of come around the corner, you see what looks like a fairly stocked supply cave, and there were like crates and boxes of different size with different kind of like markings on them, casks of ale or oil. You see.
How big of a cave are we talking?
It's about 20, 25 feet across, but as you come in, or as you're coming around the corner, because you're on head, right? You do see maybe about 5 or 6 more smugglers down here, and 2 of them are they're kind of like it's like 2 of them have their back to the other group, and they're kind of looks like they're sneaking ale out of one of the casks while the others are talking. So they kind of look over like they heard you. And then they look over and their eyes kind of go wide. What the hell?
I'll be like, hey, we caught you.
Intruders!
Nice try.
And you see that the cave continues to the south on that. And you can actually see light coming.
Like out, like sunlight.
Like daylight. And they're going for the weapons as you guys come into the cave. So
All right.
we'll stop there.
Nice.
Shit,
But you don't see anyone that you see more of what you saw up above.
Gotcha.
But you don't see someone who you would recognize as Handley.
Right.
At least at this point.
I think I was we're here for creme brulee.
Oh,
They kept the name totally wrong.
They laugh. That's what we called it too.
All right, let's go launch a raid. That was
shit,
fun.
yeah, that was
Loved it.
tight.
He's got a crackly surface, but a smooth custardy inside.
Sweet on the inside.
Sounds like a creme brulee. We probably got through, like 10% of what you planned just from... We're the worst.
Oh, God.
About half. You got through about half.
All right.
Okay.
Sweet. All right, we'll see y'all. Thanks for hanging out. Gonna launch a raid.
And we're
Bye.
next week.
Good next week. See you Tuesday.